Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fantastic hangout here with Schmoe Me the Real. I'm one of your co-hosts, Brandon, joined by my friends from Spin from the Real, Matt Thomas, Chris Anthony Lopez, and Shug.
What kind of friends? What kind of friends?
Good friends. Really good friends.
We're good buddies. Schmoe Me the Real, brought to you by family. Hope everybody's having a great Friday so far. I had a great match. Hey, are you drinking Corona? I don't see you. I don't see. All right, then great. Do it. All parts of you. Go get you one then. All right, go get it. Go get it then.
I'm too comfy.
Go. Okay.
No,
don't
but
complain.
Buck is no longer canceled.
Thankfully, Corey, I am no longer canceled. I was.
It took him a minute.
Some of his friends.
All four of us here got
whoever.
Stop it.
I didn't finish it.
Yeah, Corey. Some of his friends of a certain pigment color, vouch for him. And
this is never gonna go away, is it?
Never.
Hey, at least I get free drinks from Shug at Spectacular for it.
That was the trade-off?
Yes, that's the trade-off.
That might be more than $200 at the end of the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna just add everything to Buck's tab.
Shug's paying for it? Oh yeah.
All right, everyone. We actually have our first guest of the evening. He did compete in tonight's pay-per-view.
Oh,
we have the boss, Ben Bateman.
Oh, wow.
Yo, Check TV.
Wow.
What's up, fellas? Chef TV.
What's good? What's good, Ben?
How's it going, Ben? How are you feeling?
Exhausted. Same way you always feel after a match. It's not the worst loss. I've had worse.
Yo, and I just to rip off that Band-Aid, it's like, yeah, like my man didn't come out on top, but at the same time, you played really well. It's not like you played a bad game. And I want to start that discourse off right now. My man did not play a bad game. I don't want to hear that. I know some folks are going to have their opinions, whatever. But, yo, you lost in sudden death. It went to sudden death.
Somebody always got to lose. People will talk the shit they talk. It's what happens. But, look, I wanted to play well. I played well. I think the thing people are going to talk about a lot is this challenge. I know people are going to talk a lot about this challenge, but it's evidence of the strongest challenge I've ever heard of because I wasn't even aware of what he was challenging until they repeated it for about 2 minutes. And then I realized that there was no movie called Drive being asked about, that it in fact was a movie called Drive, he said. So if that's what I thought, then I don't understand how anybody could question the challenge because he said Drive 2 times in a row. And then he said it quickly the third time, which made me think he was just rushing the question. So other than the challenge, I think it was a pretty straight down the middle match. I believe Ethan, what he said, that I would have, he would have gone for Russia without multiple choice if I'd gotten Premium Rush. I almost just said American Ultra again because that's what I was thinking when I wrote Jesse Eisenberg. I keep thinking it.
I thought you were thinking 30 minutes or less, which is another movie
that one. Yeah, I remember that one with Danny McBride and Aziz Ansari, I think. Look, you always want to win. I feel right now I'm playing the best I've ever played. I feel I'm showing up to matches and I'm missing a question. I mean, Ethan and I, when all is said and done, when we go to overtime, I think we both have 96% accuracy or possible points earned or something like that or more. I think going into overtime, right? It's the difference of a single point in round 1 and a single point in round 2 for each of us.
Yeah.
I don't know what more you can do. I guess you can go 100% accuracy, and that would have been a legendary thing if in the number 1 contender versus Ethan Irwin, I had literally gotten every possible point. But I think then Ethan probably would have gotten every possible point. I think it would have been double 100%. Was I think what would have happened.
Right.
And look who decided to join us.
There he is. It's happening. Quiz show.
Who wants quiz show? Get quiz show out of here.
It's not like we're on his channel. No, we're fine.
Not this week. Not this week. Oh wait, we are.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna be honest. I had left the house. I had put on my Team Godzilla shirt here, and I had gone. I was gonna make a phone call and go for a walk, and then I looked at and I remembered that I had agreed to do this show and. Because I was assuming I was going to be winning, and I was all excited, and then obviously, you don't win, so your brain goes to a different place. But luckily, I'd only gotten a few feet out the front door, so I walked back in. And here I am.
You can just say Show me the real waste of time, and Bateman 2021. But no, seriously.
I intended to do this show because I was going to do it once before, and I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad that I caught it before I was like 10 minutes away from my house, because then I was going to just send a message being like, I got hit by a car. But
wow, your night just took a really bad turn.
Don't say that.
Ben, are you okay?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good, JFTB.
All right, word. That. But so like, the Premium Rush question happened, like whatever. But before that, like, how did you approach facing Ethan? Because y'all never played each other before.
No.
So what was because I know, at least for like Roka, obviously you played Roka before, and he has a large ass catalog of movie trivia matches. But like Ethan, yes, similar, not as many, but still you can watch his matches back. But how did you approach Ethan Irwin and his weird, I shouldn't say weird, unorthodox way of preparing for matches as well?
Well, Roka's got nearly 60 matches to watch total.
Nuts.
Ethan's got exactly 27. 7 in teams and 20 in singles you can watch. He's got a couple free-for-all appearances. He's got a horror free-for-all quick appearance. So, there's a lot of game tape on Irwin, and it bears out to the way that most fans who watch Irwin know. It's that if historically, if you catch him on animated, that's his weak spot. The thing about Ethan that's different than a player like Roka. So when I play Roka, I'm assuming Roka's going to miss in round one. He might go perfect, and that's not a shot at Roka, because I think Roka could say the same about me. I think he could say, I'm assuming Bateman will miss a question in round one, right? There's not that many players who go perfect in round one, like 6 out of 7 matches. It's like Ethan, Bibiani. These days, Merle does it most of the time. There's a couple of them that just don't really miss in round one. So with Ethan, he's one of those players you have to assume he's going to go perfect. And because of the way his categorical round 2 knowledge seems to work, the only way he loses matches really is by missing a 5 traditionally. That seems to be the only way. He's only gotten caught on a couple bad categories ever. So you can't assume it's going to go in your favor that way. You can't figure you're going to go in there and it's going to break for you. I mean, it would have been nice if I had to see him try to pull the single moms club or something like that. I don't think Irwin gets 8 points in Tyler Perry. Maybe he does.
He said he would have.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He might.
He always should have in the heat of the moment, though.
He might have. I mean, who knows? Maybe he would have. I when I think about like why in Medea Goes to Jail does she drop a forklift? Like I just am like, do you really know that? Did you watch Medea Goes to Jail? Maybe Irwin watched a ton of Medea movies. I wouldn't have thought so. So anyway, my point is all to say, Ethan showed up as exactly the player that he's going to show up as, which is a guy that basically doesn't miss. And you have to hope that in round one he's going to get a family movie or an animated movie, or he's going to write something wrong. There's a couple instances in history where he does something like that. He has a brain fart. You have to hope in round two that he's feeling fired up and he does something where he answers too fast. We've seen him do that before too. He didn't do any of the things that you expect him to do. He played really tight. He played really focused and locked in. And maybe it certainly seemed like they were being truthful about having group study sessions. It's definitely what our faction does. It's what a lot of factions do. And if that's the case, he might be getting a little more locked into answering questions in a systematic way. He might be getting a little tighter with his gameplay just by virtue of having to take his time. Either way, we get into the end there. And once we go, I was happy to get a perfect round 2 just because I needed to make sure that we were at least on an even playing field. I think either way it's tied. Like I said, the thing about Birthday Girl. But you go into that last round and all you're assuming it's like, okay, is it going to be his 5 or my 5? That's the hard one. And that's kind of how we entered that round.
And it definitely seemed like the wheel really wanted Nicole Kidman in this match.
It did. And she's been around. I mean, the thing is, certain slices and certain actors and actresses have been in the game forever. So with Kidman, you kind of know with Kidman, like there's a chance they're going to throw some weird stuff at you because she's been asked about a bunch of times, and some of these were reasonable questions. I thought asking about Dead Calm that's a reasonably deep cut. I think a lot of casual fans are probably not very aware of that movie. And I think, they asked about something else in there. I think in the Kidman category. Oh, they asked about the sponsor in Days of Thunder, which that's like another one. So there was a few, I think, in his category that I wouldn't even call it impressed. I think I was satisfied that he was the player I knew that was going to show up. But it was ballsy to respin. I do have to say that. I think for him to hit a category like Nicole Kidman, as good of a player as he is, when almost every single movie she's ever been in has come out in an age when he was old enough to see movies like in theaters, there is a real chance that he hits something dangerous in that round 2 for him, or something more broad, or does hit something like Tyler Perry. And I think he was tempting fate there a little bit. I was actually a little surprised he spun away from Kidman.
With seeing something like Pixar on the wheel, like I'm like, okay, obviously out of all the things that were on that, Pixar is the one where I'm over here because we all watched the match together, and we're like, oh, like that has to be the weakest of the categories for him on this thing, because Ethan's no slouch at movie trivia. Obviously, his resume it reflects that.
Yeah,
but when spinning away from Kidman, and my one thing, and I said this explicitly to whoever's on screen, I'm like, it's opponent's choice or Pixar, right? Like those are the two slices. If you're Ethan, you probably don't want. But he gets Kidman, and obviously you obviously wanted Kidman with that wheel spin as well. But
twice, yeah,
that's a whole different can of worms. But at the same time, if he gets Keanu Reeves, or if he gets 80s or directors, he's
good at everything. I mean, we've seen
everything.
Right, and from the day he came into the league, I think that's the biggest difference between the two of us as players is maybe now the last 5-6 matches I've played, maybe I've earned some of that from fans who when they watch used to say like, oh, Bateman will do fine. He'll get 7 in round 1 and he'll get like 5 in round 2 and he'll probably miss his 5. Like, I hope that I have started to actually show people that like I am getting points. I am getting 95, 98% of points possible for me in matches like across the board. I've had like one bad match in my last 9 or something like that. 8, I don't know how many now. But Ethan's been doing that since day one. That's just how he's been playing since the day he came in. So if he is studying, as somebody in the chat here says, that's scary. That's scary for the rest of the league.
Yeah. Right. And Ben, as Chris Lopez would call me, the resident Bateman hater, which I'm not, because you got me into Schmoe down. I just give you a hard time because I know you can take it. But, I have said you're one of the greatest tacticians in Schmoe down history, and I think you're going to go down as one of the best players ever. But what is your mindset now after this match? Because we know when we talk about Ben Bateman, tournament time is your time. There's no denying that. Even the haters will know Bateman shows up in tournament time. So what's your mindset now going forward for the remainder of the season?
I love playing matches. I do love tournaments. It's nice to have a high ranking, and I don't think my ranking will suffer too much from this loss. I can't imagine. I imagine I'll drop down to the 4th or 5th ranked competitor or something like that. And if that's the case and it's a 32-person tournament, I mean, that means I'm probably getting somebody's 4th option on a deep roster as my first match. Maybe I'm even I don't think there's going to be a play-in this time because there's only 8 factions this time. But with 32 players, I mean, I would have to look at the rosters in front of me to guess the kind of player I'm going up against, but I'm probably going to go up against somebody who's got like a 1-0 or a 1-1 type of record. The thing that's crazy about it, though, in 3-round Schmoedown nowadays, with the way it works, it's just so difficult to get an edge. That's like what you really learn when you play a lot of these matches back to back. The 3-rounders is, I mean, against almost anybody in the league, I probably beat Ethan today by 2 points on the challenge on the 5, right? It's probably the difference of a lot of players go perfect in round 1. I actually think exactly what happened is probably what happens to a lot of people. Somebody maybe, I can't even remember the round 1 questions, but they think they were pretty normal. I think there's a bunch of players in this league that probably miss a couple plot questions on Kidman, right? I think it's reasonable to think Mellow Yellow is going to be a check down, and maybe they say Coca-Cola because they don't know it, and then I get the steal or something like that, right? That's like what you kind of assume is going to happen. But the thing is, Irwin's the best of the best. He's right up there, the best couple players. But the thing is, like, what if I go up against Vinny Mancuso, or I go up against like Christy V, or I'm trying to think of players that have losing records or haven't played a lot of matches, like rookies who are deep on rosters, and I get opponent's choice, or I get a really tough broad category with just a few, and they have a softball set in round 2 just for them, not like a rigged saw. I'm just saying like an actual softball set. It happens. And then we get down to the thing at the end where it's within 5 and they just get a 5 they know and I get one I don't. And now it's exactly what happened to Rocco against Collins. Now Collins turned out to be Collins, so like that for him is a little bit of a different thing. But I think the thing about tournament season now versus 2019 when I won that tournament was like I had it down to a science 2 years ago. No one else had that science figured out. Everyone has that science figured out. Everybody's got a faction they're studying 6 deep with now, multiple times a week, it seems like. Everybody has the list, and they're all focusing in the categories. Everybody is like, you know what I'm saying? You don't really get a whole lot of advantage anymore by moneyballing it. So it becomes this other thing. You have to find different methods. And I have different methods. I mean, my playbook this season is pretty evolved. It's a pretty fucking good playbook. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, I'm doing stuff way different than I was doing in 19, but it's still just a playbook, you know? And even the Niners are going to lose when they go against the Cowboys in the 90s if the Cowboys have a better day. It's just going to happen.
Right. And I have this joke on our show where, well, it's not really a joke. It's more so I say like, oh, if someone's performing really well or if they're preparing for a match, they go to the Ben Bateman School of Schmoe studying, because I feel like you're the one that set that precedent. Like, of course, people were studying before. It's not like you invented studying movie trivia. But at least in the Schmoe and how it's played, you took it to a different level. You took it that you were deeper in it than other folks were. And of course, like your success reflects that. But now in the whole faction system, especially last year going into this year, now everybody's doing that. And like you said, you had it down to a science, but you're the first person to crack that code. And I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. It's almost like folks envied how you did it, or they saw your success and were like, oh, wait, maybe I should go the extra mile with this. And with factions, you got the established folks at the top, and now we have certain factions with the rookies and a lot of like the exchange, right? They're all rookies for the most part. Like they got to learn from somebody, but at the top, you have those vets. So Ben, you really set that precedent, at least in my opinion, in regards to how folks should approach the movie trivia Schmoedown.
I think there's stuff that's super interesting to focus on when you talk about breaking down anyone's career and their preparation, because the truth is there's this running joke that Sam brought up tonight that I like to read about movies. And here's the thing. So does everybody else in the league if they want to improve quickly. You can't improve quickly by watching a bunch of movies. I don't care if you say, I'm going to play a match in 3 months. I'm going to watch 4 movies every single day, right? Every single day for 3 months, I'm going to watch 4 fucking movies, right? So now all of a sudden you're like, all right, well, I'm going to watch 4 movies. This is going to be great. I'm going to get 28 movies a week. You know, that means I'm going to get in 96. No, that's not even the math, right? It's 104. What was it? 20, 80, 104.
We just talk movie trivia on the show. We don't do math.
104 movies.
What is math?
So, okay, you're going to watch 312 movies over the course of 12 weeks. 312 movies. 4 movies a fucking day. Almost 10 hours a day. That's more than a full-time job for most people in America, right? If you did that and you played a match, I'll bet you'd get 2 questions that reference those movies. Maybe. And that's if you were covering
a small percentage.
That's if you were covering movies. Like the most broad loved movies in the world, right? So like I pull up the IMDb 250 and here's what's so interesting. I think about movies that over the last few years I watched for the first time, right? Movies that I had never seen before that I wanted to watch because I wanted to know more about movies. Okay. Rear Window. I watched Rear Window probably 2 years ago, something like that. I'd never seen it. It's a classic, right? People love Rear Window. It's been remade. People talk about it all the time. I've definitely gotten Rear Window referenced questions in the Schmoedown since. Now, could I have just read about it? Certainly. But if I just wanted to read about movies, I wouldn't want to play in the Schmoedown. It would drive me nuts because I wouldn't care about what I was studying for. I like studying for this stuff because I like podcasting, because I like doing live streams, because I'm a critic, because I review films, because I screen stuff all week. That's what I like to do, right? Like, I mean, the theater near my house just started screening 70 millimeter prints, and I'm so happy to be a member. Like, I just booked tickets for the next. I'm gonna go see Jaws in 70 millimeter here. I've only seen it once. It was 2 years ago. I'm about to go watch The Producers and Bamboozled on like a double feature. Oh, wow. You know, I've never seen The Producers or Bamboozled. Right? These are movies that like. I've seen a lot of Mel Brooks. I've seen a lot of Spike Lee. Those ones I haven't seen. So 100% you can read about stuff and you can learn about stuff. And I do. And you see it in my gameplay. I would wager more than half the questions I answer questions about I have not seen. At least, probably. I'd have to figure it out. But like, I don't think it's that abnormal for most players. But I do think that you have to focus on the types of movies to watch. That's the real trick. If you want to try to learn something about you want to learn something for Schmoedown, the types of movies you watch are very specific types of movies. It's not going to be very helpful for you to go and just be like, yeah, I want to watch this random indie that like no one saw that came out in 2009 that, you know, one actor I liked from this modern movie was in. Like, you'll like the movie. That's good for you. But if you really want to try to gain an edge, it's like, Figure out where are your blind spots. What are the huge movies that gets referenced all the? I'm seeing Lawrence of Arabia on Sunday for the first time in 70 millimeter. I've never seen it before, right? Like, again, I could read about it, but I'd rather see it because it's a classic piece of American history. So I think it's important to do both. If you want to improve in the game, you have to love movies and you have to read about movies. But you aren't going to want to read about movies or care. It's so funny Whit referenced this book because I bought this book and I read this book for exactly the reason that it's like one of these books that's like such a cool, interesting piece of history. It tells so many great stories about the 1970s and late 60s filmmakers that defined American cinema. But you don't read that if you don't care about movies. I don't read that to gain an edge. It's easier to read an IMDb page for Martin Scorsese. I'd learn more for Schmoedown by spending 25 minutes on that than I would reading this book.
And that's why we should all enroll in the Ben Bateman School of Schmoedown Study.
I was already a part of it. It's too much work.
Hold on. Yeah. Two comments. Two comments there. One, very jealous about all these 70 millimeter screens. They don't do any of that here in Philly.
They do it in Columbus.
You shut up with your fucking Ohio bullshit. And the other thing, the other thing is, we did get a Streamlabs, by the way, from the K Wolf here, $10. Just wanted to say, great match, Ben, and as always, hashtag Team Bateman for life.
I mean, Kyle the Gray, he's one of the best of all time, just a legend. Hey, Suge Knight, what kind of camera do you use?
Just a regular Logitech camera.
Really? God, he looks crystal clear, guys. Right? His framing, his focus.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't
I use a NVIDIA broadcaster. Helps it.
Oh, interesting. Looks good, man.
Yeah,
looks damn
good.
good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, see, Shug, you're doing something right.
Now he's being nice to me. Now I can't be mean to him.
Wait, Shug, I wanted to comment on something you said a few minutes ago. You said I got you into the Schmoedown. Is that true?
Yes, you actually did. It's literally my Schmoedown experiences have literally been around you and Guy. Guy's match against Merle got me into the Schmoedown. My first ever live event was spectacular, hoping you would win, watching you win the belt. And at the draft, I sat there for 20 minutes trying to come and say hi to you, but was freaking out. So I just sat there and stared at you. And you looked at me like, "Why?"
So you know,
you were looking at me. You were looking at me going, "Why is this guy staring at me?" And I was just like, I couldn't do it. I was like, I can't say hi to him because I'm freaking out. Then I found out you know one of my best friends who I play Magic with, who knows you personally. So
who's that?
So his name is Travis Nuttermaker.
Travis.
He's a judge.
Okay, I wonder if I mean I know a Magic player named Travis that I definitely know, so I wonder if it's the same Travis.
It is. You guys are friends on Facebook and everything.
Oh, okay, Travis is great.
I brought him to Spectacular because I told him you were playing, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we'll go." And we watched this. He didn't care about the Schmoedown, but he knew you, and I was like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "Well, he plays Magic." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And then
that's great.
Yeah, so my Schmoedown is basically around you and Guy.
See, that's what's awesome. Up, Peggy in the chat?
What's up, Peggy?
Yo, and this is the nicest Shug has been in regards to any Ben Bateman topic in the last 3 months of us doing shows. For the love of God,
like thanks, Chris.
Ben, see, this is. I'm gonna be honest.
You're called throwing him under the bus.
I will happily
keep it 100, JFTB. Keep it 100.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do because I'm the Ben Bateman defender on Spin from the Reel. Every Monday,
hold up, do the damn show. That is not true because I've defended Ben multiple times.
I'm not gonna repeat what you said about Ben not too long ago because Ben's here and I don't want you to embarrass me by proxy.
With Ben on, all arguing about when they've all been fans of him before in order to get on his good side. Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm not even trying to do that. I'm not even trying to do that. I'm trying to call these hoes out.
All I have said is something Ben has said himself, Christian has said, and that is if Ben doesn't win a title, and even this is what she's talking about. Shug said recently, if you don't win a title this year, it can be.
Oh, yeah, right. Hey, look, there's no doubt about it. I made the decision to go join a faction with Dan Merle's my teammate. We all know it means that one way or another in singles or in teams, how important that is. You know, that is the truth.
Optics are everything sometimes.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, and the difference, I think, between like the win-lose sort of roller coaster that I was on in 2017, 2018 with singles is that back then it was against players like Dale the Dude and then Mark Andreyko, right? Like, no shade to anybody, but like these days my win-lose is against like overall, it's like just singles champion. That's the only players I play at this point. So you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, and somebody, one of those players, whether it's Ethan or Dan or it's Roca, someone will go on a run and they'll get the title. I mean, or they'll keep the title if they're Dan Merle, because that's how it works. And maybe it'll be me in the tournament. This was close. This was close. It's a good wing eating ASMR. I got to agree, Jeff.
There's no wing eating ASMR. I am on mute chewing, so I don't chew into the microphone. So
leave the mic on.
Also, what other after shows combined to do one after show? Let's just put that out there.
It's true. You guys are good natured. Wait, so and just so I'm on, this is where I'm on Schmoe Me the Money, right? This is not.
You're on their channel. Yes.
This week we flip flop. Yeah, we flip flop.
Okay.
Since we do this Friday crossover thing, every other Friday when there's a pay-per-view, we trade off whose channel is hosting it.
It's a good crew. Yes. Good wings, good vibes.
Soy garlic Korean barbecue. Good
No, that's a mixture of flavors. Bradley Tingle in the chat. What's up, Bradley Tingle?
Yes. That's some old Into Lightning Mauler. We're talking some old like 2013 Avacyn Restored M13 magic right there. You get the Lightning Mauler, it comes in, you get the Soul Bond connection. Burning Tree Emissary, one of my favorites. It also casts it does a really good job casting Mirror Superior, so just so we're all on the same page here.
I mean, I don't want to throw us off topic, but I did play a historic tournament today.
I'm out.
Did you really?
Yeah. No, there's a Sunday. There's a historic tournament for cash prizing that I'm playing in. So,
is it open enrollment or is it like a mythic thing?
No, it's open enrollment. It's I'll send you. I'll have Quisha send you. They do tournaments every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday.
What time it is on Sunday?
Morning? 9:00 in the morning.
Oh snap! How many rounds?
5 rounds to a play.
Are they speaking Greek?
Wait, did you say every Tuesday, Wednesday? Would you say Tuesday what?
Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and then you said and also Saturday, Sunday. So most of the week.
Well, Saturday, Sunday are those the tournaments. Those are just like 4 rounders, and then you get it would be like an F&M. Ben knows what I'm talking about. The Saturday, Sunday tournaments are actually cash prizing or invites to their opens. So,
well, I will look that up because I enjoy Magic a lot. I do have a bit of a busy weekend, so I wonder if I'll be able to actually make time for 5 or 6 hours of Magic on Sunday. I will try though.
Right. Thank you, Brandy.
Look at Brandy. I would love to watch. I would love to talk to Ben about Magic all day because I go to all his podcasts. I love it.
I used to have hundreds of cards, and then they were all stacked up in my college house, and then they disappeared somehow.
I'm just going to tell you because I'm going to continue to derail us for 30 more seconds. So, Shug, did you see in the end? Oh, did I even post the picture in the end of the polls?
Of what polls?
I opened a box because you responded. I opened a box of what's it called? The collector's boosters for Horizons 2. Dude, the Horizons 2 collector's boosters I opened 12 of them. I got 6 fetches. So I got a foil etched Catacombs, right? I got a full art Scalding Tarn. I got a full art Arid Mesa. I got a full art foil Arid Mesa, Marsh Flats, and I got one other one, whatever the other one I'm forgetting is. And on top of that, in the same box, I got the full art foil Ragavan. So it paid for more than half the box because the box was expensive, but the card itself was worth like $160.
The collector ones are expensive. I pulled 2 pre-release foil for the Catacombs.
Nice. You know what I hear right now?
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah.
Look, it was exciting.
I didn't know Shug spoke French.
It was exciting. It was exciting.
I'm sitting here. I'm like, they're speaking Greek, Latin. What is it?
I'll back up.
Speaking of backing up, just because I showed up just a little late here, obviously, but when I came on, I guess I missed this stuff. You did cover this, right? Buck is no longer canceled, right?
Matt,
he's no longer
canceled.
This week,
I'm not doing anything.
Good.
Why was Buck canceled?
All right,
I can't.
I mean, he invited it.
See, we got all 4 of us here. I got my 2 brown friends.
Oh, okay.
Wait again, just you didn't hear it.
Yeah, hold up.
Oh, see, we got all 4 of us here. I got my 2 brown friends.
Yeah, so Ben, for context, Matt and I were Shug. I don't think Shug was there yet, but Matt and I were on the screen with Jeff and Buck, and Buck refers to us as his brown friends.
Okay,
it was a dare. It was a dare.
It was unprovoked. He just said it straight up, and we were like, "Oh my god, Ben! How like? Oh my god, Buck! How dare you?" But no, Shug did it.
Shug told him he'd pay him $200 if he introduced them a certain way. And it didn't even introduce him the correct way.
Instead, Brandon is now getting all of his drinks paid for at Spectacular.
So at Spectacular, all drinks are on Buck that night.
Right.
Spectacular! It's gonna be so fun. So now my plan, I guess, has to be for Spectacular. I guess like I got to just win the singles tournament, and then win the belt at Spectacular again. Do it again. Is that the deal? And I want to shout out to PG, who was in the chat here a second ago. I don't know if she's still in here, but I mean, PG is exactly the kind of player I was talking about a second ago. She's got a 1-1 record. I've seen how good she is. I've seen her show up. She plays her ass off. She takes people to sudden death. You know, it gets to the 5. Like, that's the kind of player that if you end up playing in round 1 because they're 1-1, take that shit seriously. Some legendary player ranked in the top 6 or 7 is going to get knocked out exactly by a player just like Peggy Gubbins. She's going to go in there and she's going to upset somebody. And I know it. And like, that's exactly, I mean, it's so funny because like this kind of was in some ways like a mini tournament, I guess. You know, I had a path, but it never really is when it's always like sequenced out. Matches take a little while. When you're playing in tournament season, it's just like 2 weeks a match, 2 weeks a match, 2 weeks a match. And I like playing. I like playing more rather than less. So it is nice that I'll have a chance to, you know, I think in 32 people, doesn't that mean that you've got to win 6 in a row to win the thing?
That's what Collins had to do last year minus the plan, yes.
It's ridiculous.
This is why I like the 32-person singles tournament, because you're going to see these upsets. You're going to see them, and everyone's going to lose their shit, and I'm all for it.
And we got that confirmation tonight, too, which I was not expecting.
And I mean, winning 6 in a row, that's the thing that's crazy, is whoever wins 6 in a row, it elevates their legend so high, because getting 6 wins, think about it, right? My record going into tonight was 13-7. So if my next match is a tournament match and I win the whole thing and I get the title, that means my record's going to go to 19-7 with 2 titles. That's like better. That's more wins than Dan Murrell currently has.
Damn.
He has 18 wins. Like it's such a huge number of matches wins. It's incredibly hard to do, but it's also, that's the value of, you know, of a 32-person tournament.
Real quick, we do have another Streamlab. Just a reminder, everyone, if you have any questions or comments, you could put them in at streamlabs.com/shmomethemoney. We have it at the bottom of the page there. From John Lastrina.
Oh, the Drift King himself.
As we all know, Ben, even Sean Boswell lost his first race against the Drift King. But we know what happened in the end, right?
I mean, in the end, he's the DK. And he's not going to race, but then Vin Diesel's like, I knew Han. He was like family. And so then he's like, okay, I'll race you. I got to tell you guys, I enjoyed Tokyo Drift so much. I like it more than any other Fast and the Furious movie I think I've watched other than Fast 5. I think I enjoyed it as much as all of them. Like, wow. Because the truth is, it felt like watching like a silly kids movie, but also I also understood, because it was Justin Lin doing it, that like, okay, first of all, I now understand why Han's so great. He's just the best part of the movie, and it's not even close. And it's heartbreaking when he dies, because he's the best part of the movie, and it's not even close. And also, Sean Boswell, if anybody here used to watch AMA, we used to use a term called going full soloist, and it's where an actor goes full soloist for a role.
Jamie Foxx there?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. And I don't know if like Sean Boswell in real life, when he took on that role, was going for a performance to sound like a Southern dude. Like if that's what he was trying to do, like if he was trying to create a character that sounded like that. But when I watched that, I'm like, wow, you either were extremely successful in creating a character, or this is like one of the worst performances I've ever seen in my life. Like he is unwatchable in that movie. He's like, no, I mean, he's awful. Like I mean, no shade to Lucas Black.
There you go. He got it.
You got it.
Yeah, he's had a career. He's had a career, and he's
totally throw shade based on things he said recently.
Yes, exactly. He's had a very successul career. He's been in a lot of big movies. He was just in F9, the Fast Saga. But in my opinion, in that particular film, it's just like hard to understand what they were going for, because it doesn't seem at all in any situation with him in exactly. The man looked 35. They had him play a high schooler. That's true. He's also got like 35-year-old man chest hair when he goes into the sauna. He like puts on the towel and he's going to like hit the sumo dude, or I don't know if he's a sumo dude. He's a very large man who's in a sauna, who resembles what I would imagine a sumo wrestler would look like in a film. And Sean Boswell has chest hair of a 35-year-old man, and he's got a receding hairline. I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, the movie was great though. I loved every second of it, except for Sean Boswell and Lucas.
We gonna have to fight.
What'd you think of him in F9?
He was fine. I mean, I wasn't paying any attention.
Yo, Bow Wow looked rough in that movie. He looked
rough up until the barbecue at the end.
Yeah, he looked rough. I felt bad for my boy Bow Wow.
Yeah, Shad Moss. Big shout to Shad Moss.
Yeah, big shout to Lil Bow Wow. But speaking of wrestlers, unfortunately, that was your Achilles heel this evening.
It broke Brooks' heart.
Kaiser's rolling over in his grave.
Yeah, I mean, at the wrestler moment, it's funny because you go back to the match, you count it back from, first question to the last, and it's like, the end of the day, as I mentioned, I think the challenge was totally valid because of the way that it was asked. So I think you throw it out, you say, all right, you get the other question, which I know it, but I don't think that that's an easy question. I don't think who directed Blue Steel is something that like tons of people know. I just like Catherine Bigelow, and you have to look at the way that he played round two, which is that I think he gets that point. So either way, no matter how you slice it, it's just a fresh game at the end. And I wish I had the Westerns question back. That's the one that kills me because I've gone over those films, The Gunfighter, McKenna's Gold. I've gone over those movies with Kaiser. And the thing about it is that sometimes you remember your wrong answer more than you remember your right answer. And I couldn't get to Gregory Peck. We had a conversation in the end that got us to Gregory Peck and Westerns. I remember that conversation, but I couldn't walk the pathway to get me there. And I repeated hoping, because I was thinking, I was like, okay, was it like William Holden? I was like going through some of the guys that are in these movies, right? It's like, is it Henry Fonda? I was trying to count it through, which is why I used the repeat. But in the end, when you don't know in the Schmoedown, 9 times out of 10, you're going to do more by going with the obvious answer that you think it might be than just throwing it at the wall, right? Than just throwing it at the wall and hoping it sticks. And in this particular situation, like I would have probably written William Holden. That's probably who I would have written if I was going to go for it, but because I knew it wasn't John Wayne. I was positive it wasn't John Wayne. But even when you're positive it's not, you still write John Wayne because it's more likely that it's John Wayne than it's William Holden.
Safe guess.
Yeah.
Like here, AJ there saying like, I guess it's in the Schmoedown app there.
That's funny.
Like, I was able to pull it only because I very recently bought a Criterion Blu-ray of The Gunfighter on a whim. I didn't know what it was. I just saw it was a movie with Gregory Peck in a Western. I'm like, cool, I'll pick it up. So that's like, if I hadn't have bought that, I wouldn't have known what that is. So it's definitely not the easiest one to pull because I don't even recognize the other titles in that question.
Yeah, the tough thing about the question is, I mean, so that's the one that I could have won on. That's the one I should have had because Ethan got it wrong, and I had some context that I should have been able to get to. But I mean, you should have, would have, could have. Hindsight's 20/20. When it comes to the Goldberg thing, Goldberg versus Steve Austin, right? Like we know that Goldberg's in Ready to Rumble. We know that Steve Austin is in Longest Yard, but I'm pretty positive that Goldberg's also in Longest Yard, and
yes,
so it's like. I think if I have the repeat there, it's more likely that I write Steve Austin because when I wrote it down, it was counting down. I think I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure this isn't Goldberg. I'm pretty sure this is wrong, but it didn't have like a more obvious answer to me that just popped in, So, but even if that question, if I write Steve Austin, because it's possible that would have been the other guess. That's the thing. If I take an extra 30 seconds, I probably get to Steve Austin because I think I know he's in those movies. At least I think anyway. But against Irwin, when you get to sudden death, it's hard to beat that guy in sudden death. That's not really. It's possible because they're not all round one questions, but that's not going to really be my game. Like Roca, that's going to be more my game, right? He's got so many gaps of knowledge. He's got so many things that he can trip up on that we've seen over the years that it's way more likely that I'm going to get some weird pull ahead of him. But with Irwin, once we get to sudden death, I had to sort of just lock in and go, look, there's a shot here. I'm going to play this as best I possibly can, but it's not like things have to line up exactly. Things would have to have lined up in like a very specific way for me to win there in overtime, I think.
Yeah, me and I say on our show all the time, like wrestlers and films, my favorite category because it's like it's my two favorite things, movies and wrestling.
Yeah.
But the second you pulled the board over and it was Bill Goldberg, I'm like, damn it, because like out of every question, like that's the one I was confident that I knew. Like,
Yeah,
I'm that guy that watches the matches and I miss every single question, except I'm like, oh god, like Steve Austin, of course. But again, like you wrote down the guy from Looney Tunes Back in Action, and it's like, oh shit, like okay. And I low-key forgot Steve Austin was in the Expendables, and those guys will get confused all the time, even in the wrestling world. Like,
I mean, the thing that's tough is like Goldberg was famous because he had the like undefeated thing, like that was his whole thing. And right. Austin's like one of the 5 most famous, best wrestlers in the history of wrestling.
They were the heads of each other's respective companies at the same time.
Yeah, so like one is way more famous than the other, and you have to realize that if they were like, that's what I mean when I say that if I had 30 more seconds. If you logically deduce the question, in what world are they asking you, Bill Goldberg, in that to know Bill Goldberg, that's such a deep cut. To know Steve Austin is like he's one of the 3 or 4 wrestlers people know, so like that's why it's a fair thing. Ethan guesses it and gets it right for exactly the reason they wrote the question. So that's tough. It's tough to go that specific. And if I had the repeat from the previous question, maybe, but yeah, just didn't go my way in overtime, unfortunately.
Yeah. And again, freaking damn Bill Goldberg, the guy that did Santa Slay. You kidding me? Like that's some real shit. But I mean, you're gonna go into that singles tournament and you're gonna wreck some shit up. Like it's not even gonna be fair. I feel bad for whoever plays you in the first round.
It's gonna be fun. I mean, look, it's gonna be really fun to play a low ranked player. I haven't done that in a really long time. I think the closest thing. No, that's not even true. An actually low ranked player. When I played Andrew Guy, it was a number 1 contender because he was ranked where he was ranked. That's why that match was. Mike had stepped out of the match, but that had only elevated Drew by like a few spots, right? He was still probably ranked like 6th or something at that point. Like I'm legitimately going to get to play against someone who's probably ranked like 20th or like, I mean, let's do I have it up in front of me here? Let's see. Let's find out who's in the rankings.
I bet he has it up. I bet he actually he's just stalling for time. He stares at his ranking all day, waiting for it to
Okay, if it's 32 and I'm going to be like somewhere around 4 or 5 probably, that stands to reason that I'm going to be playing against somebody who's like in the actually this is rough.
Frankie Alvarez maybe.
This is crazy. I'm just going to read you guys the rankings from 24 to 32 right now. Jader Paramo. Ooh, that's not a softball.
It's a good
Video
one.
Drew, not a softball. Drew McQueenie, not a softball. Griffey Newman, because he's 1-0, not a softball. Jacoby Bancroft.
These haven't been updated yet.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay.
These haven't been updated. Yeah. Yeah,
King Khan, Ty Lieberman, Josh Horowitz, Frankie Alvarez, Jessica Schloth, like Goddard. Oh my God. Yeah.
I want the Goddard. I want the Ben v. Ben match.
I want the backstage Civil War.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun either way. I love playing matches and it'll be great. Dan and I will get a shot in the team tournament as well.
1, 2, 3, not it.
Peggy's like, don't put her up against her. Don't do that.
Why not? It'd be fun.
You know, I think the thing that's interesting about this is I had originally planned on touring in August. I was going to be on the road for all of August, and I pushed it back to November. So I'm going to be on the road now for the majority of November. I think probably that means I won't have any issues with the tournament. I hope, because usually Spectacular is like it's December 4th, which is live, which means probably the tournament will mostly have taped by November. I would have to think, because for them to air it in sequence properly. But I was a little worried in August originally that it was going to get in the way of one of the tournaments possibly. But either way, it'll be interesting to be. I mean, I've got a lot of the things I'm trying to work on at the moment, and every time Schmoedown, like tournament season happens, like it just sucks you in. It's like the only thing. I mean, the last few months for me, that's kind of what it's been, right? Dan and I played 4 matches. This my 7th match this year? Is that what it is? I played 3 times in singles now and 4 times in teams.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you produce a lot of the points for the dungeon, which is what I got crap over.
And you had the Riley exhibition.
Right, and the free for all. Yeah, it's true. 9.
And the free for all.
Showed up 9 times.
Yeah, you've been
Been
busy
busy.
here the last couple of months.
Been a busy boy.
In the end, this will be the tournament I play. This will be the season I played the most matches in the end for sure. Even more so, I think, than that.
The amazing Leah Logan.
My
just
best friend,
This is your
Leah Logan.
This is your record so far this year, not including free for all or exhibition.
The Riley match. Yeah, it would have been nice to get the win tonight. It would have been nice to get the win tonight. I do have to say, on some level, the one silver lining to losing, and there isn't really one, but like if I'm just being honest, is that I didn't really want to have to deal with the interfaction Dan Merle thing at this point in the season, because we're going to have a teams run coming up pretty soon. So I really didn't want to have to deal with studying with Dan for a teams tournament, but also preparing to play against Dan at the same time. It would have created a really weird, difficult situation to balance for us, I think. And we were going to do it. We talked about it. We knew, I don't exactly know how we would have done it, but we would have done it. It's just, I think it would have deflated a little bit of the experience to have to try to do both things simultaneously. And I think if Dan is champion at Spectacular, and that's who I am fighting to play, we'll deal with it then. But I shouldn't know that I'm playing Dan until after the team's tournament is basically wrapped. So it would mean, in my opinion, at least, this just creates a little bit more of the camaraderie that we've gotten to keep and build. And, look, I know this is an after show, and I don't ever like to do the whole, like, well, this is backstage thing, because, like, it's the most overused trope. But, like, in terms of people, like, I always had a lot of respect for Dan, both in the Schmoedown and professionally. Like, we just, I always did, because he's a class act. And we got to know each other when we played each other and then on the faction. But really, this year, playing with Dan and being on this faction and preparing as a team, and, a couple of you guys, obviously, Quiz Show and you, Cash, you guys have been in the sessions with us. Like, people wonder why in those teams matches we were able to come in as a team and communicate and play as well as we were so quickly with zero, like, there was just no build up. It was like by match one, we were already like it's because we spent a lot of time preparing and we got to know each other, and we spent a ton of time working on actual trivia strategies. So it became clear all the nuances, the way we communicate, the things we say, who's taking what thing, the decisions, the numbers, the categories, the preparation, all that. And Dan and I have gotten very close in that way, because, much in the same way we play against Ethan tonight, you do respect the best. You do respect the people that take this thing seriously. I don't know how many of you guys got to watch Saul on Backstage this week, but I really appreciated how invested he was. I appreciated how seriously he takes this thing. And I think one of the things I said to him, which I've said a few times, is like, yes, we don't have 1 million live viewers, and we don't have, gigantic sports contracts and huge sponsors and arenas. What we have is this really niche subculture of people that love this thing. But those of us that take it seriously take it so, so deadly seriously that when you meet other people who are willing to dignify that and support that, it reminds you of why you like it. And for me, it isn't about the money, right? Like the Schmoedown takes care of me. I do okay. It's really nice that the Schmoedown has grown into a business where they can support their talent, at least in some way. I think that's a great thing. But for me, it's not really about that, right? It's about being around other people who take something seriously that it's so easy from the outside not to take seriously. It's so easy. My phone and DMs are just blowing up right now from all these people, from the dungeon, from fans, from friends, from my family. And they're all talking to me like I've lost a loved one, here when you need to talk kind of stuff, right? And it's like the text I was getting the night Swayze died. And like, that's a true story. And but like, that's because everybody knows that, because I wear how seriously I take this thing on my sleeve, and I'm serious about it. And I love the other people that are serious about it. I even love that Ethan Irwin is in study sessions with his faction. It makes me happy that a guy that's that good, because you can't do this thing at the highest level that he does it, or I do it, or Dan, or any of the best players do it, Oyama. If you can't do it at that level, if you don't care so much about winning, we're all so competitive. Anybody who claims they don't care and they're just okay with it, win or lose, just go in to have fun, those people get walked out of the league. Even when you find a great balance, like, I'm in a pretty good mood right now. I'm like not super pissed. I'm actually gonna probably have a good night. Like, I don't feel that devastated. It's not because I didn't want to win, right? It's not because I didn't want to win. It's just I have had to learn to accept it, like any athlete does when they lose big games, because everybody Everybody loses. Think about every single college athlete and high school athlete who was de facto far and away the best player on the court, the best player on the field. Nobody was even close. Their athletic ability dwarfed everyone in high school. Then they got to college, and they were just the best. They didn't even have to try. They could crush everybody. They were bigger, faster, taller, whatever. They could shoot better. Then they get drafted, and they go to the pros. And maybe they win, but a lot of them don't. A lot of them lose way more than they win because they're playing against the other best ones. Now think about those same players who did it there, and then they did it in college, and they get to the pros, and they go and they win. But they still lose to the other best players because all the players they're playing against are the best players. They're the best in the world. And at this point in the Schmoedown, anybody who's like, oh, there are trivia players in movie trivia, they're way better than you guys out there, that they would dwarf the whole league if they came in. We went 96% in regulation today. Like, I don't know. Like, find me players who are going to go 100% of the time. You know, a guy like Collins, he plays really well. He misses questions too. Everybody misses questions. You know, and I know how good some players are. There are fans. I mean, I'll point the spotlight on you here, Quiz Show. I know how good you are. I've studied with you. You're very good. I mean, PLD is very good. There are people who are really good at trivia, and you guys would probably stand up and be able to compete against Schmoedown pros at a very high level, but you'd lose to because that's how it works. Because the other people are really good and they put in a lot of time, you know?
And we had that conversation on our show not too long ago about how the Schmoedown has changed since season 7 or 6, you know, like there was a clear divide when the Schmoedown's game upped to a whole different level. And a lot of the folks that are here in the Schmoedown, yeah, they got to see that. They were part of that, where everybody was in studio. We're cutting vignettes and promos and all the behind the scenes, backstage stuff. That's one of the silver linings, if there are any, of the pandemic and the Schmoedown adjusting to that, was we could only focus, at least for the most part of last year, we could only focus on the movie trivia. And I will stand by last year, like, they had some of the best trivia we've ever seen in the Schmoedown last year.
It's crazy.
Ever. And yeah, this year we saw Dimmelon to Damon crack 100 points combined. You know, that is insane.
Nice.
So now when we go back into a studio and shit, we're going to be there at Collision in a couple weeks or in a month, right? Like, that's going to be nuts how the game is upped to this whole different level. On top of, we're getting back into the character work in the studio. Yeah, I know Andrew's out there in his fantasy land trying to figure out who he is nowadays. But now in studio, the whole dynamic is going to be different. On top of, oh my God, you got to go perfect nowadays. Peggy in the chat, if you want to hang, not win, just hang. It's word. But at the same time, with the Schmoedown, you can't be coming in here and being like, I'm here I'm here to have fun, because the dynamic has changed. And a lot of folks, I bet they come in and have fun. And I know this past week really brought up that discussion of people's with commitment to certain things. Right.
That was a really, really huge example that like kind of put out of like what the old mentalities are versus some of the newer ones. I mean, Greg's been around for a little bit, and I mean, like, he's won some, he's lost some, but I mean, he just, the difference was he also like just said out loud, I got other things going on. Did you see that my YouTube video was like trending or something like that in his post match? Yeah. So and then you hear Saul, who just gets real fucking intense, just really going in on just how much you can hear the passion in his voice. And they're both, you know, they're both equally valid in terms of if you love this and you want to be a part of it. But in terms of the commitment in order to go far and to participate in this, Saul's mindset is much closer to what this has become than to what Greg's is.
I think there's some margin for error with what the league has become. And I think Christian has been pretty honest about this, which is that he knows that in the old days he could set up matches that the stakes were not as high when it came to winning and losing. And that created a different environment and it created a different vibe. We all saw, like, with the Benson Van Vliet match. That was a great match. That was super fun to watch. That was very reflective of the old days where it's like fun and everyone's laughing and everyone's laughing and it's great. But also that isn't something you want to watch 4 matches in a row because it's sloppy, because at the end of the day, and that's no slight to those guys, But if that's the way the game is conducted, then things like challenges become sort of irrelevant, and you everything becomes the benefit of the doubt rule, and that's not really the way that the highest level. Like, okay, I worked for a year with Christian in the business side of Schmoe before Skybound was on board, right? And I remember saying to him when you're gonna tell people what the league is, you got to find a way to be able to communicate this elevator pitch. How are you going to do it really quickly? And I always tell people, and they're like, well, what is it? It's like, you go, I compete in the largest movie trivia league in the world. And they're like, oh, that sounds cool. And you're like, yeah, it's a full show. It travels. It's got an online presence. It's highly competitive. There's wrestling belts. Yeah, that's what it is, right? It's like pro wrestling meets movie trivia, but it is the most competitive movie trivia league in the world. That's what it is. If you're going to sell it, you can't sell it as it's really fun. It's like this goofy thing where people are kind of in character and they're answering movie trivia questions. That doesn't sound dynamic in the way that it actually is, right? It's dynamic when you watch a match. Like, think about for a second that if either Ethan or myself had won in regulation, it would have been a 3-round, 100% possible points earned win, right? In a number one contender match. Like, it's what we saw with Barbarian and Bibiani last year in the tournament, I think. Every once in a while they happen. Perfect games happen more often. Anybody watching, any fan at home who's not a maniac, they probably watch these rounds. I'll bet you most people watching from home who are not maniacs got 5 or 6 points in round 1 at best, missed half of the round 2 questions, if not all of the Tyler Perry questions, maybe the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when they get right. And they probably missed most of the ones at the end. I don't think most of them have any idea that Catherine Bigelow directed Blue Steel. I don't think most of them are going to pull the directors that show up in Wolf of Wall Street. I don't think most of them are going to be able to pull the Hansel and Gretel movie that Ethan pulled. Like,
Hansel and Gretel,
all that stuff
with ease.
Great film.
Great film.
Underrated film.
$5 Wednesday at the Ritz. I saw that in theaters.
And you loved it.
But my point in saying all that is to basically just say, when you talk about
it.
what the league was versus what the league is, I think that there's definitely some swing back that we would all like to see, where it's like, you still do have the opportunity for more fun things that are not always set up for a purpose. It doesn't always have to be for a title. It doesn't always have to have this crazy, like, if they didn't get all the questions right, then someone blew it. Because I do think at a certain point, people at home, if they're finishing here and we're all finishing here, that's also not that relatable. It's why Greg Alba's probably a fan favorite, because people watch him play and they're like, that's kind of like me. If I was in this, that's how I'd want to be, right?
Yeah.
That's how I think a lot of people, but they don't realize that when you're in it and you lose a couple times after you've prepared your ass off, that sucks. It's not a good feeling. It is not a good feeling. And I'm very fortunate that now the last couple losses I've had, well, I shouldn't say that. Well, that's not even really totally true. I am fortunate. Look, I didn't win free for all. I got MVP. That was kind of a tough pill to swallow. I played a 96% accuracy game against Ethan Irwin that went to sudden death, and I lost. And after having a shitty round 1, we won 100% the rest of our team's match. That's my last losses.
With no repeats either.
Those are my losses, right? So. But I also know the difference of, like, when you don't play that well. I remember playing back in season 5, and I remember getting my way against Andraco and blowing it in Action Adventure. I recall playing against Roca and just kind of shitting the bed. Like, I remember those matches where 2 out of 3, it's just like, you didn't play very well. You showed up and you just had kind of a bad day. And that makes you feel stupid because you do put in the time, you do prepare, and you want to win, and you do take it seriously. And I think that fans who watch that don't understand what that feels like, it's because they haven't put in the time to prepare. And I think if anyone played Pee Wee Sports, they probably do know what it's like. It's just that you have to get to a point where you're a grown-ass adult competing at something before it actually hits you in the way the kid your parents take you out to pizza. Like, when you're a grown-up, like, I'm a grown-ass man. Right? Like, I'm playing movie trivia in my home. When the match is over and I get off of here, I got to decide what I'm going to go do as an adult. Like, there's no, like, people to go see. I don't have parents that want to cook me dinner, right? I live alone. So, like, I'm putting the kind of energy and passion into this because I love it. And I have to be able to withstand what happens when it doesn't go your way. You have to be able to. And I think that when fans watch and they're like, I would love to be like Greg Alba and just have a good time, that's great. But you don't want to play 50 matches like I've played or whatever and lose a lot of them. Like, that's not a good feeling. It sucks.
Yeah. So two things here. One of them, when it comes to, like, the idea of, like, just, you know, how much people, like, spend their time with this. Some people, especially the ones, like, helping, even that aren't in the league, but helping with the studying, like, the amount of work and extra time that goes into it. Like, it's crazy. And I mean, how much we're all brought together, and, like, even when we try to talk about other stuff and we play games on Zoom, or, you know, if we're doing a watch along with people, somehow, regardless of what it is, it always comes back to Schmoedown and just talks about that again. So it's obvious that it's not what it used to be. And it's really hard to avoid it. It's like, if you go out to like dinner with coworkers, you're inevitably going to start talking about work at some point. It just happens. Now, the other thing, we got a Streamlab from Dragon17. I know we put it in the chat earlier, but
Dragon?
Hi, Ben. Played great as always. What do you think about your haters and the people that always want to see you lose?
He's saying that because of Suge and I, because he commented on our video on one of our videos that Suge and I are Bateman haters.
Hey man, look.
I'm not a Bateman hater. I'm not a Bateman hater.
Dragon here is just talking for the Regis Edmondsons of the world. So,
Regis Edmondson. I think I've seen that name once or twice.
I've even called out Regis saying that's so.
Dragon, I love you. I hope you know that.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Dragon, we do love you.
Really, you got a heel character, so of course
I think
that's going to feed into it.
Yeah, I think to answer that question, I think that probably this. I talked about this on when I was talking to Saul. That's when it was. In 2017, I remember being like, I want to be Shawn Michaels. That's the role I want in Schmoedown. That's the character that I want to be. That's the guy I want to exemplify. I want to do everything in the Schmoedown that he did in wrestling.
You got the hair for it.
Have you found Jesus yet?
Oh, is that like a thing he did or something?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess we're the guy.
No, I didn't know. And the reason is because I love that he was respected as a great in-ring performer. That everybody, he was respected as perhaps the greatest in-ring performer ever. Like an amazing wrestler, right? Incredible athlete. Played his character perfectly, and throughout his whole career, people just wanted to root against him. People just thought that he was such an arrogant fucking prick. And it's definitely something that I've done a lot of in the Schmoedown. And when I told that to Christian back in the day, he was like, yeah, I think that's possible. But I remember like in 2018 or 2019, we were somewhere, and I remember he was talking about the Schmoedown to somebody at like a bar casually or something. And I remember he referenced Andrew Guy. He was like, he's like our Shawn Michaels. And I remember hearing him say it and thinking, and I'm just repeating myself now, but I remember hearing him say it and thinking to myself, like, that's got to be because, like, I haven't ever won anything. Guy's the best performer we've ever had. He's an amazing performer. His energy level's off the charts. And he's had these amazing, incredible moments. The Dan win, obviously, followed by the Riley win, like the team action run. Like, he was totally that guy. But a couple years later, right, it's like, I did win the title. I do perform at the highest level. And now this season, I think the combination of the fact that I almost always show up at the highest level combined with the fact that I stick with the character, I do it in the match, bring it every single match, and I take it seriously has made it so that, yeah, people want to show up to watch me lose. That's what it is. And if people want to show up to watch you lose, it's not because you're losing. It's because they show up and they want to be able to watch you, and they want to be able to stomp on your grave because you're doing something right. And I think when I think about my haters, like this, every after show, every time you go on something that's not a match in ring, look at me. Every time you go and you talk about this stuff when you're not like in the actual game, there's always this like sort of slight veil you pull up because like, I don't know, like it's better to be honest. But I know from meeting fans at events and from getting to know a lot of you guys, a lot of you guys now, you're not fans anymore, you're friends, right? Like I've gotten to just know you guys. So like from meeting the people that I've met in Schmoedown, what's great about it for me is that I don't get angry tweets and comments about being a shithead in the real world. I don't get lots of horrible DMs when people tell me that I'm a bad dude and I've been really disrespectful to them. Like I'm a pretty balanced, pretty respectful person who I try to take care of people the best I can. So that's how I live in real life. And I love being able to do this thing in the Schmoedown. I love it. I love being able to do this thing in the Schmoedown and bring it and dial it up and like have these characters. Like this is so funny. I'm gonna like tell a quick story here. But back in the day when I was getting ready to move to LA for good, back in 2008, when I was getting ready to leave, I worked at Nordstrom, and we used to, we all wore suits and we sold clothes. And yeah, and I worked there for a few years. It kind of taught me how to like be a grown up, right? Like have a grown up job. But we all talked about the process of selling suits and selling clothes like we were like stockbrokers. It was like a running joke, right? You go big or you go home kind of a thing. And we all quoted movies like American Psycho, where the guys all wore suits all the time. They were fucking total dickbags. And so I, even when I was getting ready to come down here to be an actor, wrote a whole monologue from the perspective of a guy selling suits at Nordstrom who was literally giving a pep talk to like the young kid in the bullpen when they're about to go on the floor. He's like, you think you can get away with that shit? That's some Macy's shit right there. Like I remember I wrote this whole thing and I like performed it. And I think I even did it in auditions in the first year that I was here. And it's that character. It's that Alec Baldwin and Glengarry character that I love so much. Straighten the tie, walk it off. That's what we used to say. And I love that character. I love being that guy. And so in the end, getting to take a lot of that energy and bring it to the Schmoedown has been really fun for me. I kind of get to be that guy in the Schmoedown. And I think the fact that I've always wanted to do it is probably why it feels so like me. And I think it's why fans are willing to hate me so much, probably, because I think they see it as closer to me than it actually really is.
Hold on 1 second. Wait.
Well, I'm not a leash, so I don't know, do I?
Wait, give me 2 seconds.
PLD, again, the king of staying
Sorry,
on brand. You gotta stay on brand. What was that, Jeff?
I had a timeout, Paul. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
You actually time out. You actually did it. Oh my god.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He brought up Ed Harris in the chat.
Oh my god.
He's my boss. Please don't do this shit.
Yo,
It's fine.
just so we can acknowledge this, like Suge and Matt aren't Ben Bateman haters.
I don't think you guys are bad baby.
I mean, Ben. I actually,
by the way,
we had a quick conversation on
What's up, Saul?
on Instagram about a year ago. I messaged you. You had liked a post I had made.
He's gonna do it again. He's gonna do it again
for Comic-Con coverage. We did an interview with the cosplayer, and you had liked the post, and I sent you a message. Thank you for liking the post because how much I actually look up to you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So,
that's cool to say.
But like, I just even that because you. I guess my thing is part of the reason I'm on the it's a failure if you don't win train. I have no issue saying it is because I was such a big fan of yours, especially over the last 3 or so years.
Yeah,
like that's when you won me over. So to me, this is and wow, I'm a Clevelander. I'm going to bring up LeBron.
Here we go.
It's like when LeBron went to Miami. I was rooting against LeBron because I just wanted to see him do it properly.
He just went on the Nerds and Suits account.
Oh, you guys time out PLD? No, I didn't.
He mentioned Ed Harris.
Timed him out. He mentioned.
Don't you time out? Don't you time out the Nerds and Suits account, Jeff? I'll take that as a personal affront.
Well,
Too late. He already did it.
I did it before you said that, so unfortunately, I didn't do it knowing that it would be in front.
I'm out.
Jeez,
Matt was on this really nice soliloquy. Oh no! See, Matt was saying this real beautiful thing,
I was just being honest about how much Ben.
No, Matt, I'm gonna continue your thought because obviously, and I'll be quick so I can throw it back to you. But what you're saying about that is, I know that thought and that feeling because the whole conversation with Danger Zone was that conversation, which is like, and you only get to have that LeBron conversation because it's not because people are talking about did LeBron crack the top 50 or did LeBron is he going to crack the top 30? When you talk about LeBron now and what he does or doesn't do, or he has a bad game in the playoffs and they get closed out, like it's because we're talking about if he's number 1 or number 2 ever to do it, ever at this point, ever.
Number one.
And a lot of people think that. And I think it's a fair opinion to have. I still know the reality is, even if on my Schmoedown tombstone, it says some shit about elevated studying, best strategist ever, one-time champion, best tournament player of all time, whatever you want to fucking say. If it's one championship, I'll quickly get knocked out of the top 10 all time. Within a year, I'll get knocked out of the top 10 all time.
Oh my God.
Look at this guy.
Can't time me out forever, Jeff. You can try.
He's everywhere.
I should probably go to work, shouldn't I?
Yeah, you have questions for Ray, man. You better get going.
Yeah. But so just real quick, PLD, just to finish the thought. I know that, Matt, what you're saying is exactly that, which is like, yeah, you want to root against me. I get it. It's fair for people to root against me.
I want to root for you, but I sit here, I'm like, I liked seeing you be that number 1 guy on a team, and it just feels like, you know what I mean?
I always believed I would go and I would win 1-2 more championships this season. I figured I'd get teams for sure, which is why I signed up with the GOAT. And I still believe that there's a very strong chance I'll get the singles title. It's a longer road now, but it's also my road that I'm familiar and comfortable with. And at that point, I don't think this is my last season in the league. Early on in the season, I think I talked about it, the possibility of retirement at the end of the season, because I didn't know how it was going to go. Starting the season 5-1, unless I literally end the season like 0-6 or something, that would be impossible, right? I would have to lose my first teams match, lose my first singles match, and be out for the rest of the year. And even then, I don't think it would constitute wanting to walk. I think I'd still want to run it back. I'd consider the season personally a failure, even if the dungeon was to win the faction title. I wouldn't consider that part a failure, but on a personal level, I would if I didn't win a title this year. But one way or another, like, I kind of figured that this would probably be the season to do it, because who knows how the league makeup's going to look next year? Is Christian going to keep the faction structure the way it is? Is there going to be a different system? Who knows, right? It changes every year anyway. Who knows if Dan and I will even be allowed to be a team next year, even if we wanted to be one? I have no idea. So this season, this was the opportunity to go do it. And let's just all be honest, guys. When the smoke has settled and it's all said and done, if I finish the season with 3 titles or 2 titles instead of 1 title, it doesn't matter how I got them. It's leaps and bounds difference when we talk about what I'm doing next.
Yeah, for sure. And for me, Ben, I'll be honest with you. The reason why I'm rooting, I'm not. It's not that I'm rooting against you, but I'll look at you straight in the face and tell you why. I'm a den shill. You know what that means. So yeah. So I'm a den shill, and that's why I root against you. But I respect the hell out of you because, like you said with Saul, you come and bring it all the time, and you show up, and that's what I appreciate about anybody that shows up in the league. As long as they show up and give it their all, I'm a fan of yours. So I just want to say I appreciate you and what you do, and good luck in the tournament. And I do want to see you in the finals of the tournament. I want to see you win the finals. Do I want to maybe see some play for the belt? I got to see you win the belt. At Spectacular, I have pictures of it, and I show it to people. I go, "Oh yeah, this is what I cover." My life's changed. I found the Schmoe down a year ago, and now that's all I talk about. How I met these guys, So, I appreciate you, man. So don't. I know people will say I'm a hater, but it's just I'm a den chill, and
And they do it to give me shit.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't.
That's fair.
And the MPLD,
MPLD. That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. Hey, I gotta say, Ben. It adds a silver lining. Now you go, you win the tournament, you win the belt Spectacular with the Action Army there. Because we already got 2 action houses. I don't know how many other action houses are going to be. And whatever Christian does with the factions, whatever he's going to do next year, one way you can challenge that, you win the team's belt with Dan.
Stay together. I know.
Let's just play up. No. So you win the belts with Dan. That's how you got to do it.
You know what? PLD. You know what it takes to win in the Schmoedown, PLD? It takes brass balls to win in the Schmoedown. I wish I had the thing I could dangle. And it cuts to Shelley Levine, and he's like, anyway.
I thought you were saying the marbles line from Major League real quick. I was like,
just to clarify here about these 2 action houses, just got to throw it out there. One of them, Paul's house there, that is the house to destroy. Ours is the recuperation center. And that is because we have some more of the quieter members that are all hanging out in that house, but also because whoever the fuck is running that Airbnb has very strict rules. They're saying you can't even vape outside on the property.
Oh snap!
So,
but you know what though, our house won't be the action house. You could come party with us, PLD.
The real house.
With all the
Trust me, our action house is the Carnage one. Trust me.
Yeah, no.
Okay, you say that now.
We're the hub for like recuperating. We're the ones and we're very close, by the way, to the other action house. It's not that far at all. It's like a 10-minute drive. And so I think that it'll be good that we're not that far away, so people can just one place go for debauchery and the other place just be like, all right, I need a breath of fresh air for like 2 minutes.
Well, there is this one other thing too that I'm just checking my DMs here to make sure that I can talk about this. I can't, so I can be vague about this. On Sunday, there's the 4th, right? Yeah. There's the 4th, which is the date of the show. I'll put it in the chat right now so you guys at least know.
All right, everybody.
Sorry, we're getting the scoop.
Guilty.
And there's going to be the show, and okay, make sure I'm not.
That's going to be us, AJ. It's going to be us.
Yeah.
So that's on the 4th, right? And then there will be something else happening that weekend that I can't announce because it's not mine to announce. But if you're in LA, there'll be a really cool thing happening, something else happening that weekend.
Very much.
And it's going to be awesome. And I'm really excited about it, and it's going to be great. So yeah, it's going to be an awesome weekend. There'll be a lot going on. Hopefully I'll have, double belts, and then I'll get to do this other thing too, which will be dope. And yeah, I think it's just going to be a great return to form for all of us getting to see each other, and yeah, it's going to be a party. It's gonna be awesome.
What, Ben? I'll say it now. We haven't talked about this at all, but being on the Action Industries, maybe we should do an action. We did the Action Guys live at the Action House last time.
We did. A lot of being drunk on camera happened there.
We did. So maybe we can do something like that.
And while I was incapacitated, drunk on camera, people were taking inappropriate pictures with my belt, which I later saw.
There might be one or two. There might be.
Blame PLD.
Blame PLD. That's true.
Everyone, that's the rule. The rule is blame PLD. I even know that, and I'm not even in action.
Hey, by the way, because I didn't catch your personal stream on NIS on Monday, but did you announce the dates for your tour?
It's on Monday. No, the new song, Late Night Love Song, drops same as last time, 12 a.m. East Coast. So it's actually 9 p.m. Sunday. That's when it goes live. So if anybody here has not already pre-saved it, I'll put the link in the chat here. It's just if you click the pre-save.
I'll be playing it on repeat all day Monday, like I did.
If
I'm
you
on
guys,
the East Coast, and I work Monday, so I'm screwed.
Sorry for tonight is a jam, people.
Yes, it is.
No, I appreciate that. If you click the here you go. I'll put it in the private chat so the moderator can put it in.
If Sam was gonna be so mad about that challenge, and then you also won, you should have just told him, "Look, Sam, I'm sorry about that.
I'm sorry for tonight. I know. I know. But yeah, if you guys click the link, it auto saves it on either Spotify or Apple, whichever one you have, and that's super helpful to me as an artist. And so Monday I'll be putting this out, and then I will be announcing the full tour, which is all of November. I'll be on the road. It should be like 10 cities all over the U.S. I think right now we're looking like there's some stuff in the Northwest. There's some stuff in the South. There's going to be some bunch of stuff on the East Coast.
Anything Midwest, like Pittsburgh or Cleveland or Detroit or Indianapolis?
There's probably going to be one of the I'm literally tomorrow all day finalizing the exact dates, but there's one of the dates is going to be like sort of more middle, like Midwest, because I know you can drive to Ohio from Pittsburgh. Like I know that's a thing you can do.
Not far.
Yeah.
You can drive to Michigan, Indiana, and
Big love to Indiana.
Yeah, Big Love to Indiana and Pennsylvania.
I was actually considering Philly possibly as the one. How far is Philly from Columbus?
So here's the deal. Since
7 hours.
Since I'm in Philly here, which by the way, in November, if you're actually in Philly and or New York the first weekend of November, I'm gonna fucking scream because I'm in Ohio that weekend.
That's what he's doing.
I have to go visit. I'm visiting family for my birthday that week.
And Matt.
So unless you end up in Cleveland or something or in Pittsburgh, and then I can drive out there because I'm not that far. Yeah, Matt will also somehow factor into that calendar. Yeah, Philly is it's like an hour train ride from New York. It's a 6.5, 7. It's like a 6.5 hour drive to get from Philly all the way to to where I go in Ohio. So it's like a 7 hour drive to Cleveland from us. Mm-hmm. It's 5 hours to get to Pittsburgh from Philly. So I mean, there's some stuff that 2 hours.
No, they're on the exact opposite ends of the state. So literally, Columbus and Cleveland. There's a reason people joke that Ohio, besides the fact that it looks like the heart of the U.S., is because the entire Midwest, Columbus and Cleveland, is all within a 7 or it's dead center for most places.
Okay, so then the East Coast, because Philly, obviously, I'm considering New York still was a huge one, Chicago, Boston, and Philly, those are the places on the East Coast that are most in consideration. So if I was going to do more of a Midwest date, you're saying then probably would be better to do a Pittsburgh, or are you saying a Columbus or
Pittsburgh, Columbus, Cleveland, probably.
Cleveland. And Cleveland would probably be able to hit a lot of the Midwest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cleveland
does rock.
Probably
Chris's
the best
twice.
choice. Cleveland's the best choice, and if you're going to do Cleveland, do it the first weekend of November.
Please do.
First weekend of November. All right.
Because I need you to make sure that your calendar works around
accommodates you. Yeah. Well, so I mean, I currently have a pretty loose outline of what I'm already planning on, but I'll have it all solidified by Monday. BLD, if you can just get on that for me, that'd be great.
Well, I've already done it. It's already done.
He's just doing 10 dates, all just like Montana.
Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of Ben, do you want us to reproduce this shirt for you for the tour?
That's that great selfie I took. Really good looking selfie.
Hey, if you want to distribute more, there will be more people that would wear it.
I have to get Billy Belford made that. I gotta get him back on it.
I'm just saying this shirt's better.
Yes. It's all about Jeff.
Yeah. Just like Eve. But the more you ask Paul to do jobs, every job he does for you, the thinner his mustache gets. So
I got plenty to go, baby. Plenty to go.
Paul will put your ass to work. It's not even fun.
I'm a taskmaster. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know.
Also, you're a taskmaster.
I could be.
We spoiled Black Widow.
Paul is Mephisto.
Damn it.
Paul is Mephisto. That's what happened.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
It was PLD all along.
I do want to throw one thing out there. Roka tweeted at me immediately after the match was over.
Oh,
I saw it. I was going to talk about it.
Talked about it. Yeah, we talked about it.
Which I don't really want to go down that road, but previously, Roka could not have tweeted at me because he had blocked me. Which means that Roka unblocked me to tweet at me to make fun of me losing on a question. So I just wanted to put that out there, which was great.
Have you checked whether he is back?
I know nothing about this.
I don't even know if it's still out there.
I mean, can you check whether you can see his stuff now? Just curious.
Oh, did he block me again?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised what happened before at one point.
Well, I could tell you somebody responded.
Yeah, that part of it, I think I'd rather just like stay away from. My public beef is not. There's no need.
Have
for
your
that.
publicist do it. So PLD, if you can handle it,
if you can give him that.
Yeah.
We'll talk. Yes, we'll talk offline and figure it out.
I thought it was a curious turn of events. I was like, great. So that's classy. But anyway, so I think guys, I probably got to wrap up here because I still haven't really figured out what I'm doing with myself for the evening.
I ask again, are you okay, dude?
I'm good, man. I really am. I'm
here if you need to talk.
Yeah, I decided to do because the tour's happening, obviously, and all the stuff with my back I've been talking about recently. So I decided I need to lose some weight. I have to do it. It's and through pandemic, it's just been kind of a bit of a bear, we'll say. A lot of times. So I'm trying to at night rather than doing the thing I'm used to doing, which is like pigging out and drinking a bottle of wine and watching a movie. I'm trying to go out, go for walks, things like that, and end the night not eating and drinking. So that's the plan. Is probably to do something like that.
What was that? Say it again.
You described Chris's night.
I think I probably described a lot of people's nights if we're being 100%.
You know what, Ben? You know what I would do if I were you? I would go buy a collector's booster box of Modern Horizons 2 and crack it.
I want to see y'all play Magic against each other.
Last time Ben accused me of cheating, so I don't want to go down that road.
I need to see that. We'll do it live on Spin from the Reel. We'll just do Magic the whole time.
We don't accuse anyone of cheating on this channel.
Well,
never.
We don't. You do. We don't.
Shut the fuck up, Buck.
All right, fellas. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah,
I really do.
Pleasure. It was really nice to meet you.
Yeah, thanks super fun to hang out with you guys, and and tune in on Monday, that Nerds and Suits thing. Go subscribe there if you guys haven't already. People that are listening, the tour dates will all be announced. The song will be live, and I can't wait to go on tour in November and get to meet more people. And hopefully at that point, I'm coming back from a tour and I'm winning the belt. So
hell yeah, brother!
Good luck, Ben.
There you go. We'll get there.
We got to schedule you for a Money Plane watch along.
No,
Money Plane.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen this summer. It'll happen.
Money Plane. All right, fellas.
All right,
take care.
Later, brother.
Bye-bye.
This is probably the most we've ever talked about Schmoe down on the Spin.
1,000%.
Yeah, it helps when you have someone that has a lot to say about their match.
Yeah. Well, how's my dad doing? PLD, how you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'm a little tired out. I've been working on
Wait, so
everyone about how they're doing. Are you doing okay?
Shug's your dad and PLD's your dad?
I have two dads. It's 2021.
Hey, it's 2021. Why you hate?
Right. Why are you questioning that?
No,
Me
so-
and PLD give Mustang
I mean, am I the?
Oh,
I'm obviously the love
For the
child
victory to
of
get
PLD and Shook. Like, am I in the middle of them?
Yeah.
No. Like, it just makes sense. It makes sense. But I'm glad you're okay, PLD. I mean, obviously Ben's putting you to work.
This is not accurate. There was a whole 15-minute diversion about Magic.
There was.
Yeah, but we talked a lot of Schmoedown. But now, can we talk about Scooby Doo? I know we did that last time. So if
No.
we can.
Wait, no, but
Scooby-Doo.
there's been updates on Scooby Doo. You saw Scooby Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog, right? Matthew
Yo,
Lillard
did
is
you
back
see
in
that
the
Hanna-Barbera
show.
show they're doing on
The
HBO
thing that
Max?
looks like garbage.
Shut up, Matt. You look like garbage. Like,
Wow.
No, I know. That's why I can dish it out because I know what it looks like. Oh, but the thing, I didn't say which topic. Correct.
Kelly knows. Don't fuck with Kelly. Kelly knows. She knows.
Look at I could talk Magic with Ben all day. Like we could get into just deep Magic conversations about
He'd love
just
it.
I watch most of all his podcasts when he does Magic stuff. I purposely go to
with the
watch it
MM
because
cast?
I just with that when he was doing another one on cards. When he was on game nights playing EDH, I watch all that stuff. Magic is people when they look at me to go, why? How would you know about this stuff? I love Magic. I play it all the time, and so it's one of my favorite things, and why I am a fan of Ben Bateman because he loves Magic, he loves sports, and he loves movie trivia. So I know he didn't want to talk about it, but that Roka tweet and who responded, it's kind of interesting. How people make this game personal.
It was a shoot, brother. It was a shoot.
It was definitely a shoot, and it's crazy because we know that in that match in Atlanta, there was a shouting match between the two, and so obviously that hasn't been resolved, and they work together. I mean, I know people you can work together and not get along with them, but you'll still have a professional relationship, which is fine. But
that's how we maintain working with you.
Exactly. But it's gonna be
Thank you, Jeff.
it's gonna be interesting if they see each other again in the tournament or things like that.
Shit. More stakes in the Roka Bateman match, Lord Jesus.
In a semis or quarters.
I've already got a semi thinking about it.
Those comments, though, on that little Twitter thread there.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you.
It did end. I didn't hear what you said.
That was funny.
It did end.
I said I already got a semi.
I think they took it offline.
Yeah, I think they did. And, yeah, I mean, look, it was interesting to see. And here's the other thing, though, is that if Ben had mentioned that there about possibly not why he wouldn't have been tweeted at before, he was not tagged in the tweet, by the way. He would have just seen the tweet in reference.
What do you talk about? The tweet? The tweet's still there.
No, I'm saying,
looking at it.
I'm saying Ben wasn't tagged in the tweet. He said he was tweeted at. He was not tagged in the tweet.
He wasn't tagged in the tweet. It was subtweeted. It was subtweeted. And there's two people going at it. Yeah, and there's two people going at it right now, which is kind of
Anyways, but yeah, no, it was very curious to see that there. But that's what happens though when you play through all this and you make enemies on and off. I want to say on and off the court, but it's like this on and off your laptop screen, whatever the fuck this is, It's interesting to see how people are able to they'll respond to you because there are a lot of people that talk very positively about his performance, and then there are people that happen to talk about how mentioning all sorts of stuff like action army, quote unquote. We saw someone say, or other people pointing out just like gifs of Steve Austin and stuff like that. So it is interesting to see like all the people that subtweet and versus others that are very positive, and it plays right into the same thing that Sam mentioned about the challenges. When you root for someone, obviously you think everything's fair, and when you're against them, you think it's all bullshit. So those things definitely kind of play into this, like how you end up kind of portraying your opinion about stuff too. And he plays a heel, and he plays a great heel when he does that.
Absolutely.
And it's easy to find the haters, and it's great to find the people that are able to distinguish between who he is and who the character is too. And the same thing goes for a lot of the other heels out there, like like Kalinowski. He's like probably one of the best heels out there, and he's also like a solid great dude. So they're haters of his as well, but they're all people that are haters within the context of the game, not of him as a person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So it's
Mike
interesting to see
Kalinowski is
what
one
stuff
that
bleeds over.
I hate Mike Kalinowski as a fan, but I think Mike Kalinowski is one of the nicest guys I've ever talked
Well,
to.
I'm the same with
of us have
Roxy.
talked about
I don't like Roxy as a manager, but as a person, she's a great person.
He's my mortal
wonderful.
enemy. Mike is my mortal enemy because he's always a
No,
real
that's
end of action.
that's Roka
why.
PLD. That's Roka because you're C2A.
Well, Mike was
Remember
actually. That's true. Yeah, that's true too. We had a reading. We were very anti-Roka for a long time. Very long.
Look, yeah,
Flash.
that's because you're a member.
Oh,
That was we were mortal enemies of Mike for that one too. Oh, that one we got to actually pull right on him. We actually had the audacity to have him on the show and then play the GIF on him. Luckily, he took it well. Shannon laughed her ass off. That was actually before Shannon was a manager, I think. But that was a lot of fun.
She was a shadow manager the whole time.
That was on Chill, right?
Yeah, we had Chill with Mike and we had
Is
Shannon
Chill?
on.
Wait, I hate to be a dick. Is Chill even a thing anymore?
Chill. No, we actually took a break. Well, I mean, we plan on Danny. I mean, I should put this out there. Danny got a new job, and she was like just been very busy with stuff. I didn't want to really move it on without her. So we kind of just unceremoniously kind of ended it for now with the idea that we're going to bring it back. It's just a matter of figuring it out when. I mean, is there a chance it doesn't come back? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it just seems like.
Oh wait, so PLD, you're free. You're free on Sundays.
Well,
That was Saturdays.
it was on Mondays. That was on Mondays.
Saturday. Okay, you're free on
Mondays?
Saturday nights.
No, I'm free. Well, I'm
Mondays?
working on Saturdays. I have Sunday nights and Monday nights off. But actually, the thing is, I've actually stepped
so you're
up.
coming on Spin from the Real now, right?
Yeah.
I get appearances here and there. I actually have
You're
taken the
free
time
on
to.
Monday night.
You
No,
do
no,
it on
actually-
Mondays, which means you get to join the Spin
Actually-
from the Real crew.
No. I was gonna quit Spin for the Real. Me and PLD were gonna start our own show.
Oh, that was
Wait a minute.
No, hold up.
You got room for one more?
You just quit. Shug, you just quit another channel. Stop channel hopping.
And he
Yes.
calls. He says
Yes.
I hold myself out to other shows.
Meg's show is really good.
Meg's show is really.
Yeah.
You should
good.
watch that.
Well,
You
a
really
lot
should
of good,
watch
a
that.
lot of good information on Meg's show with.
And it's unlike all the other after shows. It's nice and short and concise.
Yeah, it is concise. It's a 45-minute show. pretty
That
much.
was a dig at our own show.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was because you guys go
mean
2 hours every time.
We went
That's
3
what I did.
last week. Get your facts right.
PLD. There's
They
too
had
many damn
Chrissy on.
after shows, huh?
They had
All right, we gotta
Chrissy
shoot
on
'em all
for 3
down.
hours.
Just shoot 'em all
They had
down.
Chrissy on for 30 minutes. And had
What the hell
3
happened,
hour show.
PLD? There was 3 after shows, baby, and
You
now
know
there's
what?
20.
I know. What the fuck happened?
You know
Where are
what,
we?
Brandon, Jeff? I just won't do Spin from the Real this week, and we'll see how long the time goes. Because Brandon straight up blamed me for the runtime. So
Because you're Chatty Cathy.
I like what I like. Damn it!
Wow.
I
Called
like
you
what
a
I like.
Chatty Cathy.
I'm gonna shut the
Here's the
hell
deal.
up.
Here's the deal, but as when you talking about taking breaks and whatnot, like Paul, the same can be said sort of like what Buck and I have been doing on Tuesdays. Like we just haven't been hitting people up and trying to get the panels lately. We've been
Probably
taking-
gonna happen this week too.
yeah, it'll probably happen this week too. We haven't been doing the work to get people, and it's a lot of we're getting back into the real world, so we've been focused on other stuff too. But we still like to talk about it, so we've just been and it's fine. When you don't have all the other people, sometimes you take the hit on the viewership, but it's fun to just talk about it real quick, and then we still have the other things that we do too. So it's easier. And you take a break, and then also we have this bullshit that we do on Fridays. Whatever this is that we do, sometimes
Absolutely.
relevant.
We just
sometimes
talked a lot of
it's
Schmoe down. I don't know why you're calling it bullshit. Normally we don't. Normally we're having Buck say Brown Brothers, and
Video
we're
Drew
talking
coming
about
on and
food.
talking about cards.
Video Drew talking about cards.
I actually
and for
like
once, we
that
actually
bit.
talked about Schmoe down. So
You want me to hit up? You want me to hit up Video Drew and see if she wants to peddle some more Pokemon cards right now?
Because I want to collect it. She's been buying more. It's kind of getting crazy. She's getting
She's
way
flipping
more.
them.
Yo, can I ask a PLD an FCL question
Can you
Can
ask
we
me
do that?
show? About the FCL?
about the FCL straight up?
Yeah, I've been on shows. I've
As
done
long as
shows.
it's not about an audition you put in.
No, it's not about.
Chris,
It's something I'm involved in.
Chris, if you have to ask an FCL question, remember, just like the FCL questions there, it has to be very easy to answer.
But
Hey,
Can
I
it
take
be-
offense to that.
can it be a little wordy?
It can be very wordy. Absolutely.
Okay.
Go all wordy.
At the end, though, it's going to be like, what year did this come out? That's all right.
It's about context, you know.
So,
I will say, let me do this challenge. Not challenge. This is on the Mind Tonight challenge. I just want to speak to what Jeff just said.
I'm joking.
I know. I just want it out there. Some types of people that like actually, obviously speaking, we are more of a
check the Reddit.
Exhibition. We are definitely.
Hey, I like the Reddit. Yeah, much love to Reddit guys.
Shouted them out tonight.
He did.
And love.
Whatever. There's good people and bad people everywhere.
I'm part of Reddit. I'm part of Reddit now. So
there's good people and bad people.
Shit on Reddit. Shit on me.
Right.
Same.
Yes, PLD. Yes.
Wait. Let's all keep interrupting Paul while he's talking.
Yeah, exactly. What I was saying is that obviously we are the NXT to the WWE. We are developing characters as well as people and everything else. We're not supposed to have like it'd be a situation where like if a major league ball player went down to the minor leagues, for example, and they get like they take these pictures, if they couldn't hack it, then they shouldn't be there, kind of thing. So we don't want to like embarrass people like in terms of that. So we want to just kind of give them the first steps towards the direction. Give them a couple of things that we give them context. Like the questions are actually similarly leveled. I tend to usually give a little more context to things. That's basically how it works. Although if you've noticed, by the way, I would say if you've noticed, as we go along and we get more matches and I actually get to see how the people's trivia level is, we have increase the difficulty a little bit. Our championship match was a little bit harder. Some things here. It's kind of how
great
it kind
match.
of slowly.
That was a fantastic
great match.
Great match.
It was fun being behind the scenes for that match.
I loved it. And I know it's polarizing. That's fine.
You know, PLD, and I'm going to say this, and don't take this the wrong way. And I don't honestly care if the person gets mad. I'm saying this.
Good.
I think you do need a. God damn it! I don't know how to say this. Look, fans have opinions. You used to be a fan prior to now working with the FCL. You know we have opinions. Everybody has opinions, whether they be right or wrong.
Free to have them too.
I think it's getting tiresome that people are policing opinions now, and it's very frustrating. And I've seen that with the FCL. I really believe that needs to stop because that's just, and it's not on you, but I think that needs to stop.
Everybody say what they want to say as far as I'm concerned.
Because what you're starting to do is I'll use the analogy that Justin Hamilton gave me. When Vince McMahon makes a decision, he doesn't then go to fans and tell him why he makes that decision. He just makes a decision and lets the fans either love it, hate it, whatever reason. And I think that's one of the issues I see is a decision's made and then somebody goes out and wants to explain it and it's like you don't need to do that. Fans can be critical, yes. Obviously, if they're disrespectful, if they're saying fuck PLD, fuck the FCL, different story. But if they're just like, hey, I don't like this or I think this was done wrong, I don't see why you're policing people's opinions. And that's very frustrating as a fan. So
I get that. I mean, I don't. There's no. I would say there's. The only thing I would say is there's definitely no like group effort or group mind thing to do that.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying
there is. I don't know anything, but no one's told me about it anyway. So.
Yeah. I'm just saying as a fan.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I get mad sometimes when people say something about sometimes some technical stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that goes behind the scenes that you don't know about.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah,
and we can't tell everything that goes on either. So, I mean, it's kind of things like we can't just say, well, this is the reason why. It's just for whatever reason. So I mean, like, we do a lot. There's a lot that goes on. That's a lot more actually advanced than some of the Schmoe stuff, to be honest. As far as that goes, the live Twitch stuff that they do with the overlays that are coming on at the same time. Sometimes people have bad internet. Like I know some people got upset that Brad's internet went out. It was during a storm in Austin. It's a digital format. That stuff kind of is going to have to happen.
Right.
And we're live. How do you fix it? Unfortunately, you can't. That's something so you need. So you can only do what you can do, and we're doing our best. I mean, we listen, we look at things, and we go, okay, well, this is some comments I look at and go like, I'm not going to. I'll read it, and I'll dismiss it because it's not something I can. It's not something I can fix. I don't think I should fix it. There's other comments I look at and go, okay, that makes sense. I can see that argument. Let's see what we can do because we're always striving to get better. Absolutely, I feel like we've gotten better from day 1 to day whatever. We're in 13 now. So
I mean, I think you made a mistake hiring Matt, but that's just me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I know but PLD, I wanted to ask you because the title match, which was fantastic, by the way, both Harley and Kofi played their hearts out that day.
Absolutely.
The aftermath is what I wanted to ask you about because Brad's complete mishandling of the Flirt and Flouse situation it's ridiculous, and I wanted to know your POV on this, right? But how did so obviously
POV
Brad
is another
fumbled.
channel.
That's a whole different
POV is
show.
another channel.
So I want to ask your 2 cents on this because I don't think 2 cents is another show. Oh, but
No, but it's money.
yes, you're damn right, and we're already on it right now. But PLD, what was your perspective on Brad's fumbling of the bag in regards to the flirt and floss? If I can ask, because I mean, I see Will McLean in the chat. Nothing but respect for the FCL champion, by all means. But there are some folks that did not like that decision. I want to know your 2 cents.
Well, let's just say that as soon as it happened, I knew very well this is going to be a very polarizing thing. There's going to be people who absolutely hate it and think it delegitimizes things. There's going to be people who actually absolutely love it and think it's a great thing for the sport. Mm-hmm. I find, hey, if they got something over on Brad and Brad didn't read the documents fully or didn't read the contract fully, it's on Brad to do so. He never passed the documents through me, so I didn't have anything to do with it. I would have read that. I would have found out. Would have said something about that if I found that. I wouldn't have given Nick Harley free rein to choose his own successor. That would have been my decision to make. But you know what? We are a new league, so Brad can only do what he can do. He sent it to the legal team that was at Skybound or whatever. So somebody missed it in there. So I can't even really necessarily blame Brad because he's got to depend on the people that are supposed to be doing their job. So somewhere along the way, there was a fumble made. Brad's doing the best he can now. I know that Brad is doing the best he can now to fix the situation and make something work. I'm sure we're going to find a way where we'll have a really another solid championship match coming up, and we'll make everything right some way, shape, or form.
Look,
Right.
I'm pretty sure 9.5 out of 10 players that you'll pull to play against the Flirt and Flouse will take the belt from him.
Possibly,
I'm leaving out that point.
Now watch you defend the belt like 4 times. You're going to eat your words, okay, Jeff?
He's taking it to spectacular, baby.
You know what I didn't do? I did not say 10 out of 10.
I will say that Mr. Flowers, actually, I think he is a little bit better than people give him credit for. He's not
Played well against Warfather.
He's not a championship level kind of guy, but he does know. He's not just a walk in the park either. I mean, I'm not going to claim he's not going to go and take on Dan Murrell anytime soon. But he's definitely not just a walkover. He's played pretty well. He played pretty well against Kevin Smith his last time through, and he played pretty well in his match against Warfather. So.
Yeah, and that was a great doubleheader that day for FCL too.
That was a lot of fun. Our goal, like, and all like any story side of the way, I mean, we want to be able to entertain as well. We kind of see ourselves as what the Schmoedown used to be back in like season 4 or 5, right around that.
And we love it, man.
We're trying to give a little more story, a little more character, a little more fun. We're not as beholden to factions, points. We can have surprises and things like that happen. Yeah. I think that's the best way to do it. That's the Schmoedown I fell in love with. Not to say I don't love the sports angle as well. This season for the Schmoedown has been great because of the faction points. It's a very sport-like thing you can go for. I love that as well. So it's definitely, we can give you the alternative, though. So it's nice to have both. That's why I go for it.
Look at that. Why don't we make a brand new exhibition? Bring in whoever the title...
$10 patrons.
Who knows, baby? Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, but
for spectacular, we'll do it spectacular.
And shout out to Brent. Shout out to Brendan Mayer, Brendan Marr for winning his match. I am so excited that he won his match. And excited to see what he does. Yeah, well, some people find that offensive, being a cow like that. But I think that especially if you know his background in Star Wars, if he gets to put that on the wheel, he's gonna do some damage on people because he's very knowledgeable in Star Wars.
That's what I was saying. I think Star Wars might be a play for him. He did well in the singles, and we have positions in Star Wars might be good. So.
I've seen Brennan in. It's been a while since our show is now on Tuesdays at the same. But once upon a time, I used to join into certain Patreon study sessions for other players. And I would see Brennan in there, and he'd be really great in those sessions too.
Yeah, he's no slouch. No slouch. The guy knows movies. I've talked to him. He knows movies, and he does podcasts on. Make sure to go check out his podcast because he does some really good podcasts on movies. But yeah, like I'm excited about that. I'm excited. Kofi looked great. Look at you guys have your first person representing the NCL in the Schmoedown. God knows what he's going to be able to do. What if he goes on a run?
Ross Arsenal, dude. Let's not sleep on Ross either.
Ross,
absolutely.
Ross, could do something.
Huge question mark when you bring up Ross, only because he's a Star Wars player, right?
Yes.
Because it's another 8-person tournament. Mm-hmm. And let's say the Den is going on the basis of Harper will win. Right. And he's right. If he gets the belt by the time Southern goes around, we still have no idea what the intention was behind drafting him. We know Lacey has some more great personal life things
Thomas
happening
is hyping her up
at the moment.
Yeah, that could be why.
Like Thomas has had so there's all sorts of like things, and that kind of also just plays in general to like it's a huge question mark about like what the hell is going to happen with like these 8-person tournaments. And who people are going to have to prioritize for that sort of thing, because there's at least 2 players, not including whoever's already like a champion probably, from every single faction they're going to have to like choose between just for this
right.
Because we got IG, that's the same exact thing where they're like they got a bunch of different people that they got to choose between for this. So it's very, I'm curious to see if those tournaments are going to be the people that we expect, or if there's going to be people that will be a surprising choice. For instance, after we saw that Hoey had won for the dungeon, we then saw that Wit was the one that was put in the tournament, even though Hoey had won. Then we saw how Wit did against Harper, and we're like, okay, we get it. But then he lost again. So are we still expecting it to be Hoey? Were we still expecting Wit to be it? Would it be Hoey? What about Molly Damon? So the dungeon has multiple players, and it's the same issue in every single one of these different factions. And I can
maybe even Mara too.
Maybe.
Mara's talked about it.
She talked about it, but with that many other Star Wars players, I think she's going to stick probably strictly to IG. I think that would be the best strategic.
Yeah, I feel like she
choice.
might go more next year. I think
because look, she lost the belt. Is that the last time we're going to see her this year? And what about Parker? Because he just did that. Because we know there are going to be tournaments up front. Are we not going to see either of them again? One of these again this year? Because the other one is going to go in the tournament, and that's just how some of the scheduling goes. So I can see what the issue is, and the idea of like if they lowered. This also plays into like what the future of the league is going to be, because we've heard all sorts of various rumblings about the different stuff. Christian putting up all those polls about like what would you like to see.
He's real ambiguous about next year.
Personally, if based on the random things he's thrown out there, I think the one that makes the most sense to try next is to just reduce each faction by 2. Because you already have people that don't fit in there a lot, and that way you can you get rid of those people, but then you still end up in those same issues where you have to like choose between certain people for tournaments. But because you don't have those extraneous extra people, like those extra people, the Chris Van Fleets, I mean, he did well, he didn't win, but the Chris Van Fleets and the Jacob Whitnabens and whatnot out there who show up maybe one time, and then we don't know if we're ever going to see them again. So what does that mean for scheduling? Like if you don't have those extra random ones, you can maybe fill that time with bigger tournaments where you can have more members from each faction in there. So I know I just went on a little like ramble. I just connected like 6 different points, but my mind.
I'm just watching Buck just tear that pizza up.
Right, what kind of pizza is that, Buck?
I'm a little hungry, Buck. God damn
It's just cheese.
Just
Little
cheese?
Caesars. It's
That's
Little
okay.
Caesars.
Oh, okay. Little Caesars good pizza.
It's not Little Caesars.
It's Little
And
Caesars.
shout out to Adam Witt for managing tonight. I think he did a great job. And actually, like
Adam
Ben
Witt
said,
was
he wouldn't even
otherwise
thought
tipping
to challenge that. And so
And I don't think
really
Kaiser would have. I don't think Kaiser would have thought to challenge that.
so
either,
shout out to Adam
honestly.
Witt, dude. Like Adam Witt is a real G. I've always been a fan of his since I've started watching the Schmoe. I wish him and Paul would have actually, just like it just sucks when you see a guy like him how talented he is, and it's just like it's always that little bit off of losing a match.
Yeah.
That if they just go a little bit more, they would win a match.
Yeah.
So, but Adam Witt is a real one. Dude, he is so hilarious, and I've gotten to talk to him a couple times, and he's just cool dude, man. I really appreciate him. I get it. I get when people, the whole discussion, and I tweeted out about taking the Schmoe serious and everything. Schmoe should be fun. I enjoy it. I come from a sports background, a competitive background, and things like that. So my movie trivia is not as high up as some of the people like Quiz Show, a Chris, a Matt. But I love sports, so I love competitiveness. So I take it competitively, but I get understanding, being respectful to competitors and just talking about the game. But also too, I really want people that are committed and to see how Ben talks about the game, to see how Saul talks about the game, to see how serious other players take the game. I appreciate that. And that's just what I appreciate. Doesn't mean I don't like other players. It just means I appreciate that. I appreciate what Demolanta the time he puts into into Star Wars. I appreciate, but I also appreciate a Video Drew who, yes, is knowledgeable, but she shows up with a great character. I feel like us as fans, that's just how we choose to view the game, and that's how I choose to view it. Is I do love the competitiveness, but also too, I like I just mentioned Video Drew. I remember when she was like, "I'm not studying," and now she's in a faction where she studies a lot. There's a lot of people that change. Paul Preston talked about it. He's like, I didn't study, and now I'm studying with these people, and look at what he's done. He's if it wasn't for JT, getting a 5-pointer, he possibly beats JTE. So I like I said, I appreciate what the league is now, and what I've now, like you said, PLD, you fell in love with the league season 5 or whatever. I've fallen in love last year, and I'm more in love with it now because I just love what I see out of competitors.
I wanna piggyback off of what Jeff was saying a little bit ago about how the league there's a bunch of factions and predicaments. And I also want to credit the FCL in the process because, and I'm not just saying that because my buddy's a writer and my dad's like the third host of that thing, but the FCL, like when Suge and I,
producer.
Yeah, when Suge and I would talk about it all the time, right? Like it, and when Suge and I still talk about it, it's like the FCL is like, yeah, PLD, you mentioned NXT, but damn it, I find myself liking NXT more than the main roster sometimes in regards to pro wrestling. And that's what it was for me for a while. I thought the FCL, not only did everybody bring it character-wise, like everybody was in it and they knew what they were doing, but say what you want about the damn questions. The matches were good. Like, I don't know what, like, it's like, oh, I hate the whole narrative, like, oh, I knew that question. A lot of people did. It's great.
Here, yeah, look at this. So this right here. Exactly. So it's a great challenge. So when that challenge occurred, I went and I read the question out to Paulina. I asked her, I said, hey, so here's a question here. And at the end of it, I said, what did I ask you for? And then I said, how many movies did I just say? And she went through it and I read it and she said 3. So it's if you don't know, look, I love the question writers. I hate the idea of questioning the question writers because of the amount of work that goes into it. I get the idea because Going South could possibly, if you know Jack Nicholson as a director, there's a reason why Going South was listed 3rd out of the 3 of them. But in this specific case, it's one of those rare things to point it out. Because the title Drive, he said, also has a comma. When you list 3 titles, when you're doing it, these questions, there's a pause in between each word. And when the title itself has a comma in there, it's as if it's a comma when you're listing 3 names. So the problem is that the comma in there causes a phrasing issue with just the tone of it. It's not even necessarily that the question was bad. It was the title itself causes the intonation of how to read it to be a way to misread the question. So if it was Going South and Drive, he said, then no question at all. If it was wrong, then boom.
When the question was read the first time, I legitimately Googled who directed Ryan Gosling's Drive.
And when I saw it, I knew that was Refn. I thought because I knew just like
Yes, AJ, you're nailing it right in the head, Bubba.
Yeah, that's not the only thing being nailed or not nailed.
No, he ate that question up.
Yeah, but
he got deep into that question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
deep.
Man, but it's you fucking derailed me, bro. That was good. That was a good job there.
What? Stating fact, dude. Stating fact.
Damn, Batman doesn't go down. Shit, man.
You gotta sell merch. Heroes don't do that.
No, heroes do that. That's why DJ Khaled's a villain.
Right. What are we talking about?
Challenge, the 3 words. Actually, I'll be honest with you. I was there, and I actually really thought
all
it was
I was gonna say was that there are multiple films named Drive.
Yep.
So that's the issue, because like I knew there was Refn. I'm like, oh my god, I know that there's a movie called Drive. I know that there's a movie called Driven with Jason Sudeikis and Lee Pace. This was
the most chaotic 2 hours of my life.
If you watched last Saturday when Chris and I were on Flick and Reel, Jesse Swift's channel, when it was supposed to be his news and views, and instead it was just Q&A turning into something else. Someone said something, and then he said, "Never go against a cesarean when death is on the line."
I love that movie. I love that movie.
Yeah. Lord God, that stream was a mess.
I love his stream, by the way. Jesse Swift's got a great channel. You really should go support that channel.
Go support Flick and Reel. Jesse,
really
share the link in the chat.
I can almost never watch it live, but I watched after.
I would support it if he invited me on the damn thing.
Wow.
No, I'm always at
He
work.
tells me all the time.
Remember, guys, last time we threw up the link and everything to help support Jesse. He hit the 100 subscriber mark while while we were talking about it. So let's do it again. Let's get him to at least one more.
Do it up.
But you know what, guys? By the way, just to throw it out there, subscribe to him. But first, if you haven't, subscribe to us, because we want subscribers as well, or those guys too, because this is a crossover show.
Yeah, I guess
so
Watt Real Entertainment.
You want Watt?
Yeah. Hold on. Don't say crossover show, because then PLD's gonna start talking about C2A, and we're not here for that. Okay.
Call to action. You can go subscribe there. You can subscribe to Action Industries.
Damn it!
You can go subscribe to PLD Projects, where we have shows that we have to erase after.
When are we doing one of those again?
That's a good question. I'm so fucking I'm so busy. But I will do one
before it's supposed to be Monday.
Can we do a call to Schmoe the Money?
That could possibly happen. That's a
or Schmoe Me the Real Projects.
Schmoe Me the Real Project.
Isn't that what we're doing now? Actually, right now,
pretty much.
We're doing Schmoe Me the Action Reel.
And Jesse, tomorrow I'm at work, so I mean, unless I can do it from my phone, because my computer, I have no power at my job, so I can't hook up my computer. If I can do it from my phone, I'm down. But if not, don't worry about it. I'll be in the chat.
Jesse, if you want to hang on here right now while we're on here dicking around.
Look, I like Jesse. I mean, we're all like my favorite.
We're all going to be hanging out with Jesse tomorrow. Right. We're all going to be hanging out with Jesse at some point tomorrow.
Oh, here we go. Chris. Matt's tired. Matt's tired and wants to go to bed.
I just want to address Joseph
No, I was about to pimp out our 250 stream, you idiot.
Well, no, you did that at the end. You did that at the end.
But the I word.
I just wanted to say Joseph Boros was very mad because the Red Sox beat the Yankees again today. That's what it is. So I tend to celebrate a little bit.
The Red Sox
are very mad. It's okay. It's okay to be mad, Joe. It's okay.
Yeah, subscribe to
Monty. I thought you were a Yankees fan.
Me? No.
By the way,
you're a couple.
Maybe this one.
I'm a Sox fan.
Maybe the real D.
I do like that one.
That's the winner. Good job, Patrick Gibson.
Look at back in the day, PLD was going to leave C2A and join LGR.
That's
the thing.
I did actually for like a brief one.
ASG,
one of the
for a couple seconds.
I just need to bring it up. ASG, you bring up his name again, I'm timing you
out. I'm all for that too.
Schmoe Me
I bet you lost your shit when Dan did on all my movies. He did The Rock. I bet you lost your shit.
Are you kidding?
Loved it.
But yeah, Paul wasn't even there in the Zoom when Dan brought up that he was going to be doing all my movies on The Rock, and Ben's like, we should talk offline. I want to be on that, and then he got on it.
Fair enough. Behind the scenes, Ben texted me about it. Goes, I'm going to be on this. I'm like, you fucker. I love that shit. And yeah,
Ben would get more views than you on that.
Oh, of course, absolutely. No, I get why. I'm just saying. I was happy to be on. That's a show.
What's trash, Jesse? What's trash?
Probably you being at work.
Jesse.
Not being able to do the show.
If you want to be on here, Jesse, if you want to be on here,
come on.
Just ask.
For the link.
I'll shoot you the link.
I like Jesse. One of the unknowns that came into the Schmoedown. I like Jesse. There's not a lot of competitors like not that I don't root for. Like maybe.
Here we go. Let's have this discussion. Who don't you like in the Schmoedown?
Like like as a competitor or like as a person.
The crew, Paul. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I mean, Jeff talks a lot of shit. So I'm gonna see what he does when we were in person. That's what I'm waiting for.
He'll probably tower over you.
That's true.
Like
that's fine.
Else.
That's fine.
Well, Shug, I talked to Matt shit.
I mean, Shug's only 5'3", so.
But here's the thing, though. When you see me, it's a different story. Ask Paul.
That's true.
Paul turned around and was like,
I had no idea who the fuck he was.
He was like, he didn't want to say. He thought I was gonna steal his wallet.
I did. I held my wallet a little tighter. I'm like, gotta put that in.
Yeah.
Shug, you're only 5'3".
No, I'm 5. On my ID, I say I'm 5'7". Probably in real life, I'm 5'6". But yeah.
Okay, I thought I was gonna be like, man, you the angriest Oompa Loompa I ever fucking met.
Hey, Jeff. Hey, keep it coming, buddy.
Shug's gonna be Jeff's person, and Jeff's gonna go.
No,
for
he has
wallet.
to sleep. Remember, he has to sleep. So.
Damn.
I do have to sleep.
Yo.
Just remember that.
Yo, this is not the Schmoe Me the Real D that I signed up for. Like we need to pump the brakes.
Well, first off, Chris, you didn't sign up for anything. Okay. So
excuse me.
Relax. You tried to quit like 4 times tonight. So
I did.
Relax.
Yeah, I did. That's fact. That's not.
Chris knows there's an open invitation on our channel. I haven't talked to Buck about it. There's an open invitation to our channel if Chris ever wants to quit. And talk with guys that because right now it's a very we look like the Schmoedown right now, just the two of us. We're a very pale channel.
Y'all need your
the quota filled. They need the quota filled
because they get the Latino and they get the black dude. Yeah. I can do that for y'all. That's what I do. Like when I was on y'all's show. How many folks are 0-3 and Schmoe Me the Money? Am I the only one?
I'd have to look.
I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason why you're 0-3 because of Buck.
I think I'm the only person that's 0-3 and Schmoe Me the Money.
I'm 0-1, and that's because of Buck also.
Oh, whoa! What kind of hat is that?
Wait.
Jones?
Yeah, hey.
You look like Mississippi Jones. You look like
PLD. At least Buck didn't tell you he was going to screw you over before the show.
No, he told me after to screw me over.
I never.
No, Buck told me to my face. He was
Buck told me to my face. I can't. I couldn't have you win it. You're an action guy. It'd be bad if an action guy won an action type show.
Yeah. Matt, at least you could have took me to dinner, Buck, like if you were going to fuck me like that.
I didn't even get a reach around, Buck. I didn't get a reach around.
Come on, man.
I'm not the only host of the show.
Jeff, I couldn't hear you because these dudes were screaming. I just heard Matt.
What? Excuse me? You're fired.
No.
That's fine. I think Ed Harris is overrated anyway.
Now you're definitely fired. Now you're blacklisted. That's it. Done.
No. Here's the deal.
That's fine. I'll just read all the IG work I've done on my way out.
Ed Harris is properly rated, Ed Harris is properly rated as someone that people don't talk about a lot.
Well, Jeff,
that made him sad.
They're wrong. Their people are wrong.
Welcome y'all to the first and last Schmoe Me the Real D.
PLD, when you were doing podcasts, like I have never seen when people just jump from show to show. It's really weird to have like no alliances now, huh? Like Chris now always gonna be on the flicker reel and Schmoe Me the Money, I
just hates it when I go on speaking up. I think he just doesn't like
that. Is true.
Shug, you were on our channel for the FCL championship conversation like a week ago.
I was.
Shug gets mad at me when I pop on other folks' shows, and he says I'm hoeing myself out to other Schmoedown shows.
Shug, you were on LGR like a week ago, and I get it, you're nostalgic, but
that was as a favor. That
was the legacy show.
That was as a favor to someone.
No, it was
a flashback Friday.
Yeah, it was just look at. I'm gonna tell you right now. You ever want voice work done? Get Joseph Boros. That man has a voice that is amazing. Yeah, he's done a lot. He did a lot of my stuff. Yeah, let me tell you, if I could make love to that voice, I would.
Wait a minute. Off topic. Jesse, I see your offer in the chat, and I'll duly noted, brother. Duly noted. I'm gonna be on the Flicker Road tomorrow.
See, See, PLD.
Oh, he's a hoe.
He's a hoe.
Yo,
Yeah.
people ask, I say yes. I'm sorry.
And that makes you a hoe. You need to learn how to say no.
I gotta lie.
I can't.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a hoe too. So I agree, Chris. I have a hard time saying no.
Thank you. We're just a bunch of hoes over here on Schmoe the Real D.
That's true.
Yo,
That
I
is very
need
true.
you to
Like father, like son.
I need you to go back after this and just pull that sound clip of Paul very nonchalantly saying, "I'm a hoe too."
We know PLD's a hoe. Hey, if you've ever done late night projects with PLD and he gets drunk, you know PLD's a hoe. Okay?
Hopez.
I guess we'll use that name on the stream tomorrow.
Hell no. I ain't going. I ain't gonna go.
Here, let me text Toby right now.
I won't be there. Actually, tell Toby so I have an extra reason not to be there. So the slow pieces of what? No, god damn it, Monty.
Wow.
Coming in hot.
Yo,
what the hell are we even talking about anymore?
There's still 26
you being a
people
hoe.
that choose that are
What's
using
new?
their time to watch this right now.
And thank you to
Thank
all
you, we
who
appreciate
watched. Yes, thank you for coming first and last. Schmoe the Real D.
You say that every week, Chris. Like, goddamn, man.
I don't think he's ever said the last Schmoe the Real D. So
Yeah, come on. This is
to be fair. To be fair.
And potentially our last.
Real quick, can we talk about something important that really happened today?
Sure.
No.
No.
Kevin Smets being in remission.
Oh yes.
Yes. What's up, Kevin? Smash
We know
that
that you're
shit,
watching.
baby.
Smashed cancer.
So
Smash
excited.
the hell out of that shit.
So excited for that.
Hell
So happy
yes,
for that.
dude. And the best part, and I hate to get sentimental, but that's a big reason why Matt and I know a lot of these folks is through Kevin Smets. And when the Smash-a-thon was a thing, and I know PLD, you were a big part of that. That's when we met a lot of these folks, and it was like, and now that Kevin is in remission, and hopefully everything goes great in his remission, and he's just kicking all this ass. But he smashed the fuck out of that, and I'm so happy for him.
Smash the Mike Kalinowski shit next year.
Yo, and if and when Smets makes his inevitable return to the movie trivia Schmoedown,
Can
He
you
won't be
imagine
able to be
a
a
live
heel
event?
anymore.
Can you imagine
can't
a
be
live
a heel.
event? He pops into any live event, like the amount of sheer like noise that's going to be coming out of that.
The building will be shaking.
Biggest face. Buck is right. Like he was such a good like intense sort of heel that can't happen anymore.
Hell no.
He is the face of faces.
Yeah.
For the show.
But you know what though? He could be. I mean, like Stone Cold was that kind of he had kind of that face in a way too. He could still just be intense and mean and everything else, but like he'll just be cheered for it instead.
So what you're saying is that when Kevin comes back, he has to have glass shatter to begin his entrance, and
I would think that'd be actually
immediately.
that's pretty properly. That'd be pretty.
And we all we all immediately pop.
PLD, have I told you my pitch to Saul for a live event? What his music should be?
Stone Cold.
It should be Hogan's Real American.
That would be awesome. That would be so awesome. Oh my god!
And he comes down the aisle with the American flag tied to him.
Oh
yeah.
Saul
it would be
in
the
studio is going to be entertaining as hell to watch.
Yeah.
I think Saul
I'm
versus
super excited
Amaru
about
is going to be a fun because they
Hell
both
yeah.
they're both pretty sassy, so they could both like
That
kinda go
build
back
is
and
going to
forth
be
each
fun
other.
as hell.
Wait,
That's gonna be fun.
And matter of fact, speaking about
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
we spoiled it for you, Jeff.
I'm sorry. I had the video on, but I didn't hear what happened.
Yeah, Amaru won. So today, that's a good joke. So, good joke, Jeff. But Monday
fucking
we will
funny,
be
Shug.
having Amaru. No, it wasn't that funny. Relax, calm down. But Monday we will have Amaru on our show.
Show for the real, baby. Amaru Moses. Hell yeah. Come
So
on
make
the show.
sure you're there.
Good get. Good get.
Yeah, dude. We're going to get Amaru Moses coming off his win against Moose Haas. Big dub. I mean, a bad week for the exchange. They haven't had too many of those. So the fact that they stumbled a little bit.
Team.
Say what?
Bad week for the post-production team.
That too. But you know what? Everybody,
Look,
they pump out like 50 matches a week. I think
There's
they're
a
all right.
lot
They
of
do so
stuff
much.
going on.
I was just shocked. Like when I heard that it was Christian and Mark going to be basically, I was like, oh wow.
I gotta tell you, I was entertained as fuck. I almost want to see more of it. To be honest, like
this should happen more often.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. I didn't mind it at all. I mean,
what I watched, I enjoyed for the most part. I won't deny that. I was just
fun.
shocked.
It was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Quick comment. You mentioned Chris, you're gonna be on Flick and Reel tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Is that on Shark Jumpers?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just throwing that out there for Jesse there. That's Flick and Reel Shark Jumpers. That's on his channel, which the link was put in the chat. That's 10:30 a.m. Pacific, which is that's 1:30 p.m. Pacific. They do. It's really
Eastern,
fun. I was on there last Eastern. Yeah, I'm sorry. 1:30 Eastern, 10:30 Pacific tomorrow. That's really fun. You talk about some sort of franchise or something that might have jumped the shark at some point. We lost Paul. He
Paul just jumped the shark.
He just
jumped the stream. No, but tomorrow, I think tomorrow. I don't know if I can spoil this or not, but we're talking multiple different franchises tomorrow.
You could do that. I talked about Pacific. I talked about Pirates of the Caribbean when I was on. I did a whole rewatch of that series before going on that, and it was a lot of fun to talk about it. I had never watched the fourth or fifth film, and I had always been a fan of the first three, and watching them again still was. And then the fact that I had never watched the fourth, and then I watched it, and to just see what a fucking piece of shit that was, it got me.
I warned you. I warned you.
Heated. Yeah, but I needed to fill in that gap.
Yeah, Shark Jumpers tomorrow. I'll be there, hanging out.
That's what she said.
Oh, okay. You know what? Somebody mute this man.
It wasn't me.
Is there an echo?
Whoa.
Yeah, there's a hardcore echo on that.
Yeah,
hard.
Shug, it's playing for you twice.
More than twice.
Play it again, Shug. Play it again.
That's what she said.
It's more maniacal like that. I actually keep it.
It sounds
right. That's what she said. I like that. That's good.
John, everything you just said there was wrong.
Sheesh, John.
I mean, I said 4 and 5, and I might have been off on that. What was that?
Pacific
What's franchise?
For Pirates of the Caribbean, he's saying On Stranger Tides and Dead Men Tell No Tales are better than Dead Man's Chest and At World's End.
I gotta be honest, everything after the first one
because look, second and third one totally on my wavelength. I get it. I'm down for them, but fucking the fourth one,
garbage.
God,
Fourth one is hot garbage.
Here's the deal, Rob Marshall.
That's what she said.
That's better. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Rob Marshall does not make good movies. He made one good movie. That movie was Chicago. Everything since then, not that good. So, anyways, yeah, that's all I wanted to say was that Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates 5 is underrated. It's still not as good as 1 or 2.
It's a 2.5. It's a 2.5 out of 5. It's straight down the middle because there's some really good stuff that feels very much like Gore Verbinski.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of other stuff that doesn't work as well. There's a lot of weird stuff. Jesse, I got used to the echo. And
that's also what she said.
Had the echo.
That's also what she said.
Good job, PLD.
Speaking of things that she said,
My balls was hot.
I understand.
Oh my god.
I know, Shug, we only have you for like another minute or so, and Paul.
I mean, that is what she said.
Yeah, I get it. You got to get in and out of here real quick.
You better hold on tight, Spider Monkey.
Chris is the only one who knows. Chris and Jeff are the only ones who know what that's from.
Shout out to Twilight.
I know. Well, now everyone fucking knows, Chris.
You gotta tell everyone. What? You're gonna keep everybody out of
Chris, you messed things up, dude.
Hey,
end the damn stream. Cut the feed.
July 16th? Look,
July 15th, 16th.
July 15th?
And if you
coming to Netflix.
And when you go to Netflix to marathon those movies, be sure to turn on the Watt Real Entertainment Twilight charity stream we did about what was that, 8 months ago now, Chris?
It was like 7 months ago, something like that.
8 months ago, because it was November and we're in June. So,
well, then why did you fucking ask her?
I just did the math in my head. 8 months ago, we did a charity stream.
Fuck me, I'm dumb.
We did a charity stream, had actors and actresses and people involved with the series on. Winston A. Marshall came on, made some really funny ass jokes. Love Winston. So yeah.
Did y'all hear about the other Winston Marshall?
You mention him every 5 minutes.
Mumford and Sons. Did y'all hear about that guy? The Winston Marshall from Mumford and Sons?
Yes, heard about that. I don't know why that's relevant, other than the fact that he has.
He mentioned it. Yeah, that's the only reason why I mentioned it. Yep, I'm here.
Good job.
Fair enough. Anyway, yeah.
I think that
think
should
that's it.
probably do it for the night.
That's what she said.
PLD,
That's
where
what she
can
said.
we find everything
We got all
that
four of
you're
us here.
doing?
Got my two brown friends.
Yeah, but now we really gotta go.
Yeah. Let's everyone do their plugs, starting with PLD. Where can
That's
we
what
find
she
you?
said.
At Paul_News on Twitter. You can find me on Call to Action on Sunday nights on Call to Action Live. You can find me on PLD Projects occasionally doing a Star Wars show every week on Mondays at 3 p.m. Eastern, and FCL on Tuesdays on Schmoe on Twitch, and also with the Action Industries YouTube channel on the weekend programming Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, usually behind the scenes or whatnot. I think that's it.
What happened to your show, Scoundrels or whatever?
That's the Star Wars show.
That's on Monday.
Scoundrels of the Force is now on Mondays at 3 p.m.
Shug's just calling out.
Is it still
PLD
live?
shows that may or may not be.
It's still live. At this point, it's
Yeah,
still
okay.
live, yes. So
And it's Maddie?
it's me,
Maddie.
Matt Gunner, and Richard Eric Jarvie are doing it, and then occasionally we have a fourth
Okay.
whenever we have guests here and there.
Yeah, not this week because I got to finish the document, but the next Monday I'll be free to do it, Paul.
Okay, cool. I know Maddie's been my booker, honestly. Maddie's been booking people left, right.
Maddie's
Shout
gonna
out
ask me
to
to
Maddie
come on.
Gunner.
Shout out to
Love
Maddie
him to
Gunner.
death.
Love that brother. He's good. He's good man.
Chris, where can we find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at the letter C Anthony Lopez. You can catch me on Watt Real Entertainment. Matt will get into all the fun stuff that we're doing this weekend. Watt's WAT Real 2E's Entertainment. I do Wrestle Reel on Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central. Spin from the Reel, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And I do my personal podcast, My Everything Bagel, for Chris's sake. FORCHRIS_SAKE. If it's not Schmoe or Wrestling, I'm talking about it there. And this Monday, I'm doing my definitive Pixar ranking from best to worst after Luca. So that's going to be on a Monday for Chris's sake, wherever you listen to your podcast.
Luca's near the bottom for me.
Sheesh.
Damn, man, why are you hating?
That's my tomorrow watch. So check out on Monday where I place it.
All right, Shug, where can we find you?
I mean, obviously, you won't find me doing shows with Matt because he's always hating. Damn. But you can find me at Shug9323 on TikTok and Twitter. My TikTok's wrestling magic content. You can find me on Twitch, Shug931323, because someone stole my Shug9323 because they're bastards. I will be doing a magic tournament this Sunday at 9 a.m. It's a live tournament, cash prizing, 5-rounder into a playoff. So if you like Magic, if you don't even know what Magic is and just want to watch me play competitively, come hang out. And then me and Chris do Loki reviews. So please check out that. It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing it with Chris. We get into a lot of heavy conversation. This man knows his comic books. That's why I love hanging out with him and talking with him. And then also I do a Loki review with Lunch Break Hot Take on their old man gamer channel. So please, if you are subscribed here and you're subscribed to us, do me a favor. Look up Old Man Gamers. I believe they're under the Lunch Break Hot Take, and go subscribe to them. I'll tweet the link out. Please subscribe to them. I want to help them get their subs up because they're really good guys. And then obviously you can find me on Mondays Talk to Schmoe with Chris and Matt, hanging out, bullshitting there. We will have Amaru this Monday, so come check us out and have a good time. And yeah, tomorrow I'm gonna be hanging out with Matt, and we get certain amount of donations. I may be taking some shots.
Get out, you.
So, yeah. So if you donate,
Shocked. I'm shocked.
right? Shocked. You might see a drunk Shug on camera. Thank you, Brandon and Jeff, for having me. We appreciate you.
It's always a pleasure to have you guys on. Matt, where can we find you?
Well, you can find me all over Watt Real Entertainment. Did 2 reviews this week. One review this week, 2 last week. Fast 9 we did this week. I did Luca and the Sparks Brother doc, which by far is one of my favorite documentaries ever. And then tomorrow we have our big 250 Hangout stream, and I'm excited about that. We got a nice video to play for you guys at the beginning with big announcements and everything. Somebody sent me.
Yeah,
thank you.
I had it pulled up on my phone too, and then he said that he sent it to you too.
Hold up, I will play this before I forget.
Huh?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a hoe too. You guys are quick.
That was Sean Wingblade. Sean.
That won't be overused on our shows at all.
Not
one bit.
Tomorrow, the 250 stream will be playing Jackbox games, maybe Among Us, hanging out. We're gonna have people come in and out throughout the night. I know I will be gone for a small portion because Jeff and I tomorrow will be on Chris Clark's birthday stream, which we both forgot we committed to over a month ago. And we were both drunk when we committed to it too. That's the other thing.
News to me, on Wild Run Entertainment tomorrow we'll be there.
Yeah.
Don't trip, Chris. Chris, we'll carry it. We'll carry it.
It's going to be like 10 to 15 minutes tops.
We'll be fine.
But I'll still be running in the background.
Where can we find you?
When is PLD having a birthday stream? That's what I want to know.
Well, my birthday's in December, so it won't be until then. But I can.
We'll be a spectacular, so we'll get drunk.
That's true.
That's PLD's birthday stream.
There you go.
That's spectacular.
There you go.
Someone just live stream PLD at the strip club. That's spectacular. There we go.
I don't know if you guys got taken down, but
me hit 250 and we're canceled. Yes.
Where can people find me? You can find me here. We do our various shows and everything. One of the stuff we do is Tuesday, where we have our show where we kind of discuss and have conversations about the previous week in Schmoe with all the matches. Normally we have panels. The last few weeks we've been taking time off from trying to reach out and schedule people, so it's just been Buck and I, and occasionally Shug came on for a little bit for one of them, and it's been relaxing, and hopefully we'll be able to start getting back and forth. Maybe we'll do it every other week if we could start getting back into it with scheduling, because it's been nice not having to work on scheduling 2 to 3 people a week for that thing. And then we have our Loki shows on Wednesdays at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, where we have been talking about the Loki, the episodes as they've been dropping. We have normally Kelsey Kirkland, sometimes Dan Bettenhausen when they are available. This past week we had our very own Pat Bofamonte of the Bontiverse. He came on. It was a great conversation, just talking through everything. He on the Montiverse there has great stuff that are a little more concise and Easter eggy. So it was fun to get to have a more long form conversation with him, talking about stuff, all things Marvel and Loki.
He knows more than most people forgot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know, right? And then on top of that, we have this stuff on Fridays. I am working, as I've said, every week. What?
Thursday.
What, Matt?
Thursday.
Thursday.
He's gonna get there.
Thursday.
July 1st. What are we doing July 1st?
I was gonna end on that. I'm like, what do you?
I know.
That's
why I said he'll get there.
Sorry, you went from Wednesday to Friday. I'm like, this motherfucker really just skipped Thursday.
That's because I'm leading up to it, bro. I was focused on the fact that I was about to say, look, I'm still. We have this backlog that we're going to be starting to upload soon, hopefully, of myself and AJ Lancaster. We have a different guest every week. We have been working on a show dedicated to Airbud called the Airbud Cinematic Universe, where every episode we are detailing one movie at a time in the Airbud series, which it is, as I have said before, and it is truer every day, the weirdest show that I am a part of. It is the weirdest thing in this whole space that I have been a part of. And of course, Thursday, July 1st. For those of you who have seen it, for those of you who haven't, go see it. July 1st, we will be reconvening the family show.
Of course.
With our panel, hopefully we might have some guests. We will be talking about F9, the Fast Saga. What a fucking insane movie that was. We will talk about that more on Thursday. All together, I gotta tell you right now. I know. They might be doing something on What Real Entertainment with that as well. But yeah. I'm right now. I'm peddling our shit, and I sat in the back of the theater, man, and I had enough space on either side of me. I had my phone out most of the movie. I have 51 notes for that film. and 28 of them are quotes.
Did
And
you
11
see-
of, and a, and I
real
think
quick,
11 of them are just Roman.
real quick. When I told you about it, was it wrong to describe like it's almost as if they watched the Family Show?
It felt a lot.
There's
like
that.
they were, like,
Oh my god, that one scene. I was like, oh,
There's-
are they gonna do this?
there was some there. Look, we're gonna talk about this more next week. So
Yes.
I'm done. All right, move on.
Yeah, and you can follow me here on Twitter at BrandonBuck80. You can see everything that I'm doing. I tweet about Schmoedown, sports, movies, TV, all sorts of fun stuff. Everyone, thanks for tuning in and listening to Ben talk about his match today and us talking Schmoedown. It was a great time. Make sure to like the video, comment.
I'm not gonna
and
lie, I don't hope
subscribe.
to.
See y'all.
All right, because you said that real quick, let me just throw something in the bet. My favorite thing about Fast and the Furious is that it was the round 2 of the match that me and my son over here whooped Matt's ass over there. So that's in the that's the one thing I like. Best thing I like best about Fast and the Furious.
There you
I'm not
go.
gonna lie, I don't hope to.
Nice.
All right, we will see y'all next time.